in. Hola, 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 mi gente. It's a little bright in here, no? It's a little bright. It's a little bright. Let me adjust my light. It's a little bright. It's a little bright. It's a little bright. Let me get a mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yay! I'm clear. With that said, hello, mi gente. Welcome to another episode of On the Block with Jen. Did you see the topic tonight? Did you see the topic tonight? Okay. Did you see the topic tonight? In case you didn't, let's run this back because we all have a type, don't we? Don't we all have a type? Is your type good for you? Is your type good for you? And yes, fun fact, I dated one of those gentlemen on that picture. I dated him. Very interesting relationship. I sure did. That was my type, right? But was he good for me? Is your type good for you? We all have a type. Gotta be tall, gotta have a six pack. She gotta have a big ass. I like a big pair of tits. I like long hair. I like weave. I like lashes. I don't like lashes. She has to be caramel. She has to be light. She has to be chocolate brown. She has to be dark chocolate. Everybody has a type. Everybody has a type. He has to make this amount. She has to do this. She got to be able to cook. Everybody has a type. Everybody has a type. You got a type. They got a type. Everybody got a type. Is our type good for us, right? A lot of us talk about what we want all day long on these machines. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? But is what we want good for us? Can we handle what we want? Can we deal with what we want? A man who makes six figures has a lot of options. A woman with a big old ass has a lot of options, right? A woman that's, docile and stays home, she may get boring being married to her after a while. If you want a guy that stays home and play games and he's a nerd, he may get boring after a while. But is that your type? Is your type good for you? And we're going to get into that. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's take care of the business. I'm on the block with Jen on all social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, on the block with Jen at Gmail. If you want to hit me with a topic or collaboration or an interview, any kind of business, jump on the block with Jen at Gmail. If you want to support the show, help mama keep the church lights on, you can hit me at the Cash App scrolling on the bottom. You see it scrolling on the bottom there? Cash App on the block with Jen, or super chat me in the chat. It's the little $ on the bottom right of the chat box where you throw all the shit that you talk. It's right under there. So throw in a couple bucks next time you talk some shit, right? I hear you better when there's money attached to it. All right, guys. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to get into this conversation. I'm going to drop the link early just in case my people's already in the building. We could get this party started. No long monologues tonight. It's an easy peasy weekend. You know what I'm saying? Christmas was yesterday. I hope you guys caught my Are You Alone on Christmas show last night. Me and mi gente did a show last night. If you were alone on Christmas, and I'm thinking, ain't nobody gonna be on this bitch. Everybody's doing their thing. You'd be surprised how many people were alone last night on Christmas. It was a really good show. I forced the guys to sing. We were caroling, okay? I read Twas the Night Before Christmas, the poem right in the beginning. So if you want a good time, if you missed out on Christmas, check out my show from last night, okay? So I am going to drop the link to get my peoples up here. This conversation should be interesting. We talk a lot about types, and a lot of us can't handle our types. That's the honest truth. A lot of us can't handle our type, and a lot of us can't even maintain our type, okay? Can't even maintain our type. A lot of our types come with maintenance. Believe it or not, relationships at work, a lot of our types come with maintenance, okay? Can you maintain your type? Drop the link, see who's in the building. Okay. All right. All right. You guys know I don't celebrate Christmas, but I was definitely here for y'all last night if you was alone on Christmas. And it was a great conversation about tradition and why we even do the things we do, why we celebrate the holidays, what's on the calendar every year, why we just, the calendar says this and we just move according to the calendar. It was a really, really good conversation. It turned out a lot better than I even thought. I was like, I'm gonna be on there talking to two people. We had about 40 people in the room at one point. So it was really, really good. So that means that there are a lot of people alone on Christmas, or they had a great time early in the day. I'm just looking for something to do after. And On the Block with Jen facilitated that last night. And it was really, really sweet. It was really, really good. Thank you, Steve. Okay, so you watched last night. Steve says, I caught your show late last night, but it was much needed. It really was. Like, there were a lot of people, you know what I mean? Kind of like in limbo, you know what I mean? Never know who's out there lonely thinking about, oh, no Christmas for me. But I'm hoping I filled that gap last night. It was really, really fun. It was really fun. And I literally read Twas the Night Before Christmas in the beginning for all those people that are nostalgic about Christmas. Speaking of Christmas, Nick Cannon said that he felt like Santa Claus because he's like on baby number 11 or 12. He said he felt like Santa Claus last night, trying to hit all the locations where he has spread his seed, because Nick Cannon spread his seed a lot of different places, and that means Christmas. If he celebrates Christmas, right? If he's of a religious belief that celebrates Christmas, he has a lot of stops to make, right? To drop off gifts and shit. So that is what Nick Cannon, and I guess any other man who cares for their children and has 9, 10, 11, 12 children, must be a lot of work on Christmas. If they celebrate Christmas, must be a lot of work. But I'm sure he got it done. You know what I mean? He's in a tax bracket, I guess, to accommodate 11, 12 kids. And good luck to him. I'd hate to be in that position, but he enjoys it. He keeps doing it. Very conscious mind. He keeps doing it. I don't think these children are accidental. So good luck to him. I'm sure, Akon has to do that, and Future has to do that. There's a lot of cats that have 9, 10, 11, 12 kids. You'd be surprised. And I'm sure they got to do that. So I don't know. Good luck to them, I guess. I did see something on my timelines. I'm not going to make it a whole topic, but I found it interesting. You guys know I love me some Kendra G. You guys know Kendra G. She has singles online, singles on YouTube. She does it on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. And it's a singles dating show. I made an appearance there, and I kicked it with my girl Kendra for about 15 minutes. It was a lot of fun. It was a good time. The DMs were absolutely atrocious after, because it is a dating show. So people are like, hey, let me respond. But, it's not, you remember Trump said about Mexico, they don't bring the best of the best over here when they come over here. That was a crock of shit. But I would say in that sentiment, the best of the best isn't online. Okay. The best of the best isn't online. So I can't even tell you, right? The guys that slid into my DMs. Was there like a nice, decent guy who, had good grammar and approached me nicely? Yeah, but it was like 1 out of 100, and then 1 out of another 100, and 1 out of another 100. Either way, the Kendra G show is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. You have to take it lightly. It's not serious. I didn't take it seriously. A lot of people try to use that against me, like, oh, you went on a dating show. I'm like, Kendra is popping, okay? And this is all about networking and marketing. So you're fucking right. You know what I mean? I went on Kendra G. A lot of you guys don't know about that because you're bottom of the barrel and you don't even have the fucking limbs to climb out, right? But I love me some Kendra G. Although sometimes I think, at first I was like, oh, is she playing dumb? Is she doing it for the show? Certain things that she says, and she has every right. We all have a right to market our show how we see fit. We all have a right to have our persona speak for us when we're doing these shows, whatever it is you choose. But I saw yesterday that T.S. Madison, who is a transgender woman, had a bone to pick with Kendra. And I was nosy, so I clicked. I was like, what T.S. Madison talking about Kendra? So basically, T.S. Madison didn't appreciate that Kendra G had a transgender woman on her dating show. And she was asking her questions that T.S. Madison thought were invasive to ask a transgender woman. I would think they were a little silly. The questions are a little silly to ask. And I would expect those questions to come from a child, because children don't really understand gender the way adults do, right? We teach children girl and boy. So when children are asking certain questions, it's expected, because children don't really understand until you school them, right? So sometimes Kendra asks questions that are a bit immature. It doesn't mean that they're malicious at all. She claims that it's her trying to get her understanding. She's just trying to get understanding from her guests, which is fine because it is a dating show. So she has to know where you are. But I think certain questions are for shock value. I don't think anyone is that dumb, especially because Kendra stresses. I've been in this business 20 years. I have a 20-year career before this singles online thing. I've done radio, and it's a 20-year career. So I would think, after 20 years of being in the business and being, especially in their entertainment business, okay, that has a very pronounced, okay, and very, 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 the LGBTQ community in the entertainment business is a fucking staple. Okay. They're everywhere. Makeup artists, producers, writers, actors, they are everywhere. It's not like you're in entertainment and there's only like one or two gay people. All right. So I just find it a little hard to believe that Kendra doesn't know what to ask, regarding the LGBTQ and transgender. And we don't know everything. We don't know it all, right? But certain things I thought were out of line, but it's not my business to tell her how to run her show. I don't want anybody to tell me how to run my show. But I think it's a little silly sometimes. So I'll tell you exactly what the question was, because I'm not going to make it a whole topic. But basically, T.S. Madison didn't like that Kendra G asked the transgender woman on her show, so you're looking for a gay man, right? So a transgender woman is a woman. She presents as a woman. She lives her life as a woman, right? She's a woman. So why would she want a gay man, right? A gay man is attracted to men. And I think that's LGBTQ 101. Okay? It's LGBTQ 101. Even if you don't want to address all the colors on the flag, even if you don't want to get into some sort of gender debate about the LGBT, gay men 101 is they're attracted to men, right? And transgender women are living their lives as women. So any human being living their life as a woman, right? You're going to think she's going to want a dating show for a man. So I don't know. I know people won't agree with me. Some will. I know Lily has her own opinion of this, which is usually not the opinion people think it's going to be. But I just thought it was a little invasive. And I honestly, I felt bad for the transgender woman, because she was like, no, I'm not. And Kendra was like, so you're not looking for a man? And Kendra, she's a huge personality. Hello, what are you looking for? So did you get surgery? Did you, she's like that auntie, right? And like I said, I love Kendra, but sometimes I wonder, I'm like, is this for the show? Or is she like a little bubble-headed? I can't tell. Either way, it's great entertainment, but I do understand why T.S. Madison was offended, because then it starts getting into, well, did you cut your dick off? You know what I mean? And it's like, ooh, oh. And then, your crowd, your audience is going to go with the flow, right? They're going to go, people that watch us, they're going to go with the flow. They're going to follow your lead. So if Kendra is approaching it that way, then it's going to start a fucking, firestorm in the comments. You know how vitriolic people are about the LGBTQ unnecessarily, right? Some people, but that is what happened. But I think it was okay for T.S. Madison to question her. And Kendra gets very insulted when someone doesn't know that she's been in the business for 20 years. But I'll be honest, I've never heard of Kendra until Singles Online, but it's only because I'm not a Chicagoan. I believe she's done radio for 20 years in Chicago. So that's like me telling you, DJs in New York. If you live somewhere else, you're not going to know who the hell our DJs are unless they're huge online media, television, film personalities. You're not going to fucking know who they are. But, T.S. Madison didn't know who Kendra was. She thought she was a relationship coach or something like that. So, Kendra is very adamant. I've been in this business 20 years, but it doesn't matter how long you've been in business. You got to work hard enough to the point where you don't have to introduce yourself anymore, where people fucking know who you are. But again, the great thing is that T.S. Madison did comment on Kendra bringing it up on her Instagram. And, all is fair in love and war. And the ladies were both like, hey, no love lost or found. I just, took a little issue with this. And then Kendra was like, I get it. No love lost, but I'm Kendra G, 20 years in the game and blah, blah. And You know what I mean? She put her foot down, like, this is who I am. And people call into my show, and I don't need anybody. They call into my show. So I ask them whatever I want. But, you know, we can all ask whatever we want. We can all do whatever the fuck we want. But there's always going to be somebody who disagrees. And that's not always a bad thing. That's not always a bad thing that people are saying your name, right? It's not always a bad thing. It's whatever. You look through the comments real quick. Thank you for being here, you guys. Speaking of. Necessary Evil says, I don't know my type anymore. I'm so jaded. I'm with you. I think I'm over types, but we'll get into that. I think I'm over types, honestly. Now I'm just like, are you a decent, not that I'm ready to date right now, but now I'm just like, are you a decent human being? Are you a decent human being? Okay. And are you not going to try to shove religion down my throat? Because I find that very, very annoying. Just don't smoke cigarettes. I'm simple now. Very, very simple now. Mark Randall, picky. Are you picky, sir? Are you picky with your type? Oh, you're picky. You are picky with your type. Okay. How's that been working out for you? Hit the like button for me, guys, if you are there staring at me. Winning Cipher says, are there any more women that will have your back till the end? Okay, great example of your type. I'm guessing that's your type. A woman that's going to have your back till the end. This is a great example of what I'm talking about. Winning Cipher says, are there any more women that will have your back till the end? Here's the thing, Winning Circle. There are many, many women that will have your back till the end, but are you going to care what she looks like? We have to set realistic goals. The women that are going to be down for you and have your back till the end are not going to look like Instagram models. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that woman coming in the package of, let's say, Kathy Bates or Whoopi Goldberg, right? Or Gabby Sidibe? Are you okay with that woman coming in that package? Because a lot of women will have your back till the end, but are you going to be okay with, she's also not going to look like an Instagram model? Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Is our type good for us? Do we have a type? Okay. What's up, Farrell Ford? Thank you, Lily. I saw Brother Ish backstage, but we lost connection. Let me drop the link again. Come on up here. Let's get this party started. Let me get my banner up so people know what we talking about tonight. And let me know what your type is in the chat. And we're going to talk about it. I'm going to test what you think your type is. I'm going to test it. Okay. Let me know in the chat. I don't care what it is. Say it with your chest. Don't get scared now. Okay. Say it with your chest. What is your type? Tall, strong, short, rich, chubby, dad bod, whatever your type is. I want her to have a nice rack, a fat ass. I want her to be there for me no matter what. What is your type? Throw it in the chat and we'll discuss it. Brooklyn Bat all day says, my type is a woman also with no busted friends with no man. Okay, so you want a woman that doesn't have busted friends and no men, because you know what's gonna happen with the single friend. Hi, Lily.
Hey, you know, I'm good. You know what's so funny? I thought I was backstage this whole time. I am like, don't tell nobody.
Lily, why are you in the chat?
Right, I'm just chatting away and typing, and I'm like, okay, go monologue. All right, I'm just a mess.
Well, but you are here. We're glad to see you.
Thank you. It's good to be here. All is well. I caught a little bit of the show last night. I really wish I could have been on that show. That was such a good show. It was so needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm not a person who celebrates holidays as well, but I know it's important to people, and who are important to me and all of that other stuff. I don't rain on anyone's parade. But just everything you said, I just suggest people go back and watch it because it's appropriate. And if you don't watch it now, they can watch it Valentine's Day because I think it's appropriate for that too.
That's what I said. I said, listen, you can play this back for any holiday because people get the same feelings every holiday if they're alone. But it was good. I mean, and I'm like you. I'm like, it's not my thing. But, I'm not so like hell bent on, no, don't do. I mean, I read the 'Twas the Night Before Christmas.
Right.
I read, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm all down for what you're doing. Just make sure you're down for what I'm not going to do.
Right.
We're good.
Right. Don't impose anything on me. Because I'm not going to impose anything on you, and I'm going to respect your beliefs and all of that stuff. And that's all I ask. Not too much. But I'm ready to get into some things.
Yes, I know you got something to say. Brother Ish, we need your face, honey. That was last night. We need your face tonight.
Unfortunately, I can't do face. The camera's messed
Hello.
up.
What's wrong with your camera?
It's messed up on my computer. It's busted right now, so I'm using.
I thought I spoke to you earlier and I saw your face.
You were talking to me via my phone.
Okay, because you can come up on your phone too. You get a pass for today, honey, but 2023.
Yes.
The countdown is on.
The countdown is on. Also, I want to say, I'm going to celebrate my birthday on YouTube yet again, like I did last year. But I'm going to do a twist, okay?
When is your birthday?
My December 29th. That's Thursday, right? Yeah, this Thursday.
Oh.
December 29th, this Thursday coming up. Okay, you can celebrate from the comfort of your home with me, all right? But I'm going to put a twist on it. I want it to be my birthday / talent show. So if you rap, if you sing, if you act and want to do a monologue, if you want to show us a makeup routine, whatever your talent is, I want you to come up and celebrate who you are on my birthday.
Thursday?
It's Thursday, December 29th, and I'll start promoting it tomorrow. I'll start promoting tomorrow. So if you rap or sing, you want some eyes on you, come on up. We'll do that. Wish me
a happy. Acapella or music?
Acapella, whatever you got. Acapella music, but we want to hear you. We're gonna want to hear you. So you can't play music. You have to sing it.
Well, in the background. I'm gonna bring two of my singers to sing a serenade to you. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Talking about. So I'm gonna start promoting it, but it's gonna be just so it's not boring. I want to do talent show / birthday celebration, so we can all celebrate who we are. So that's this Thursday. So look out for the promo for that. And it doesn't matter what your talent is. I don't care what your talent is. Even if you have weird talents, if it's a weird talent, if you
as long as it doesn't get you kicked off of YouTube, that's it. That's the only rule.
You don't
right. I don't want to see what you can do with a cucumber in your special places, but like if you can balance.
You like that, B-boy?
Yeah. Whatever it is you can do, come through and share your talents.
Will you be in New York? You still in New York?
No. I'll be here on the screen.
No, I'm saying that weekend.
Oh, no, I'm on the West Coast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I won't be in New York.
I am too.
not this year, maybe next year.
No, I was saying because one of my DJs is doing a party in Manhattan Friday. I was going to give you some comps, but don't worry about it. That's why
okay, thank you.
That's why I was asking.
Thank you for the thought. All right, guys. So, Brother Ish, did you hear me? You got to cam up next time. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yes, the boss. I shows enough will cam up. And you show enough
not don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Okay, so before we get into what we got to say, Pharaoh Ford says, a well-read woman has always been attractive to me, a balance of smart and compassionate. She doesn't have to be an Instagram model, but she can't be a canker sore either. I prefer balance. That's a great place to start. Balance is a great place to start. Lily, I'd like to hear from you. What is going on? Talk to us. Talk to the block.
All right. Well, before we get into the topic at hand, I had to roll up my sleeves for Miss Kendra G. I'm just saying. But you know, you always hear me say I'm not a sensitive person when it comes to these things. So it is what it is. That's why I don't mind discussing them, because I feel like by having a bit of emotional intelligence, I can kind of hopefully bring something, new to the conversation. And I understand that no matter what I'm saying, this is going to be something it's going to fall on deaf ears for some people. That's okay. I'm totally all right with that. So there was a lot of things I saw because I watched it. Now I wasn't familiar with Kendra until I think earlier this year or last year, but it wasn't what you said. It was the whole situation with Danny Lay and all of that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you were introduced to her way after even I was.
Yeah, I literally just found out about her, and during that time, people were, stating who she was in the resume. So that's why I knew. Other than that, I wouldn't have known, because I'm not Chicago. I don't know much about Chicago. So it's simply that. So it's not coming for her career. Because so I'm definitely not coming for that. And I was with you.
I think sometimes she feels that way, that people are like, and I think because in our community, we use who as an insult. Do we not?
Right.
Like who, like when we want to diminish someone's career or achievements, we use that shit. But I think she's defensive in that way. But it wasn't that. Like I really had not heard of her. I know she said 20 years. I hadn't heard of her till my friend sent me a Facebook clip about her dating show.
Exactly.
So, but please continue her comments. I'm sure you heard them.
Yes, I did. So I should have did some bullet points. But as I start talking, I think they'll start coming back to me, because I don't want to take up the whole show and make that the topic, but I just want to kind of go straight to the thing. Now, what I'm about to say, a lot of people may not want to hear it, but you kind of already touched on it, because I thought that it was just common sense that a transgender woman is going to date a heterosexual male. Now, I'm going to speak from my personal experience, because I've lived, a big chunk of my life as a feminine gay male, and then I transitioned into a transgender non-binary woman, whatever they're using this week. But we'll go with that for tonight, okay? And I will say this, simple and plain. Since transitioning, I have never once had a gay man approach me in a sexual way or as for a relationship. Gay men are not attracted to trans women.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that's so difficult, but then I do, because then I have to put on my other hat and say, okay, based off of what society says to us, they want to put everyone in these little boxes, right? And put labels on us, but labels don't belong on humans, right? Because most humans, not all, some not all, but most humans are sexually fluid, right? Most humans are sexually fluid. And what I mean by that is, down to a thought. I wonder what that'd be like, down to that, right? For instance, all of us have probably, and I will say all of us at some point, thought about powing somebody or offing somebody because we got so angry, right? Like, oh, I can just, but we're not murderers. I'm being careful what I say on YouTube, because I know how the algorithms work. But we're not, you wouldn't label me a murder, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just because I've had that thought. So
exactly.
The thing is, with men get labeled with a scarlet letter if they've had any, type of nuance or whatever dealings or crossed over outside of what society's box say a heterosexual man is supposed to do. Because a woman could have been in a 7-year relationship with another woman and then decide, like, oh, I don't want to do that anymore, and then go get married to a man and go, and it'll never be brought up again,
Yeah, but what about people that are bi?
My cousin did that.
Well, and people and that's the other thing. I get approached by either heterosexual or bisexual men.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So but isn't Bruce Jenner, doesn't he still mess with females?
Okay, so that brings up the other topic. There's a difference between sexual identity and sexual.
What you were saying, don't you think that's labeling?
What's that?
what you said. You said just because somebody didn't approach you, right?
Yeah. I'm
That
labeling for the sake of this conversation because I don't like those labels in my real life.
Yeah.
But I understand
No,
I don't want to lose people. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I don't want
Yeah, but sometimes people don't notice that. And if my sister's gay, my niece is gay, okay, I'm heterosexual, I have kids, but I grew up in, the gay community. I was a club kid in New York, so I think the whole thing. And the part that I don't like is just be you. That's what people get caught up in. You understand what I'm saying?
That's the bottom line.
No, yeah.
That is the bottom line.
So why would it be a problem? Because I think I was in my car and I heard Jen saying, it was some show, and they was asking the transgender, what does she want? What's wrong with that?
Right? Well, that's not. But no, that's not what was said. What she told the transgender woman was, so you want a gay man?
Okay, that's a question.
Right? Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, but that's like asking a woman. That's like asking me if I went on her show. So you want a gay man? It wouldn't make sense because I'm.
You say yes or no. Wouldn't you say things?
Yeah, but
it's not appropriate. But it's still not appropriate.
No, but I'm just saying I don't understand why it's not appropriate. Explain to me.
Because this is the thing.
Yeah,
one of my biggest pet peeves in life is when someone plays with my intelligence. That's one of my biggest pet peeves in life. Now the thing is, I can tell the difference between sheer ignorance and you playing with my intelligence. Gotcha. And so in that moment, I couldn't tell either, Jen, was she doing it for entertainment or was she playing with her intelligence and using that to sick her audience and honor and get more engagement, right? That's the way I was looking at it, because I get asked questions all the time. And I am very open to answering them because I can tell the tone of, I can get the energy off of what's behind that question. I've had people do like her, and what that is called is trying to put you in your place. That's what that's called.
Did she answer? Did she answer?
Well, the answer was pretty much what we were saying here. Like, I'm a woman. Why would you wouldn't ask another woman that? Like, why would you go straight to that? And that's the thing with trans people. And for me being a trans woman, they limit you to just sex and your organs and that's it, just sex. That's it. We don't do anything else. We don't go to the library. We don't wash dishes. It's just always just that. And it's things that you wouldn't do that if that was just a cisgender heterosexual woman coming up there. You just won't. And I know this because we could watch the same person interact with nothing but cisgender heterosexual women for years, and then they get a trans woman and it's a whole different dynamic because you want to make entertainment, right? But you're using at the expense of her, knowing what the key triggers are for society.
Correct. And I feel like that was a key trigger. The reason why I think it's inappropriate is no different than, let's say you meet someone Asian, and then every question is about martial arts. So where you do karate? And it's like, I'm a whole person before I'm Asian. Yeah, but what do you put in like your soy sauce? It's inappropriate. It's like, this is a whole human being before what you think it is that this person does, and maybe they don't fucking do martial arts and they hate soy sauce. And I think that I'm just simplifying it, but I think that's what it is. So I understand what you're saying, Lily. It's like you get diminished to your sex organs, whether or not you've had transition surgery. Who you want it? Do you want a straight person, a gay? I think there's too much emphasis on that. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think she is dumb. She's building herself an empire. She's been in the business, according to her, for 20 years. So that's where I get confused. Not to say that you can do all of that and not be a dumb person. Okay, that's not to say that, because there's a lot of rich dumb people running around because they had the golden egg and they're like, oh shit, ratchet works. Yay, money. So I'm not saying that just because you blew up in something that you must be intelligent. I'm not one of them people. But I'm like 20 years in the entertainment industry. I'm sure she's had makeup artists, producers, writers, actors, artists. She does interviews. Like, for her to be this dense in 2022, and automatically the retort was, oh, so you want a gay man? That was her way of saying, well, you're a man. So if you want to interact, you must.
Some people don't know though. This is somewhat brand new though, Jen. I'm gonna keep it real.
No, it's true.
Think about it.
You're right. But I've been doing this long enough when I can tell the difference. And like I said, one of my
are you on the East
pet
Coast,
peeves.
What's that? East Coast? Are you on the East Coast?
I'm in New York, yes.
Okay. I grew up in New York. Okay, and like I explained to you, I've seen a lot of people, they don't know, and it might come out like they're being, condescending, but or you know what I mean, or intimidating. But like I said, a lot of people don't know, and this is brand new, especially in the transgender community.
Yeah, I said, I get
it's different. They're like my sister. My sister's a dyke, okay, and it's a little different, and you know that. Yeah. So, like I said, but my thing is this: it's like questions like that should just be answered, and if she felt a certain way, check her on the spot. No, that's what needs to be done. Yeah,
I love the way she handled it. She handled it. The lady, she handled it with class, and the way she had, I wouldn't have done anything different than what she did. Right. She educated her without getting like.
Believe it or not, a lot of people do not understand. There be some stuff sometimes I'm saying, and it's like, why are you wetting that? You're not in the bed with them, or blase, and.
But like I said, I'm that person.
Of it, plus, a lot of people how they was brought up.
But
my household, it was different. Everything was accepted, and it was, it's an open lane. But a lot of households are not like that. So although people might understand, they're still, like you said, they're gonna make little jokes, and it's like I said, it's part of the plan. It's how it's gonna go down.
I get that. I get that every day. This is my life, right? But what I'm saying is, because this is my life, I live this 24/7. I get asked questions all the time. I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with that. But because this is what I do, I am very clear when someone is trying to put me in my place. And then that's when I get a problem, right? It's the same thing with pronouns. I don't even care about pronouns like that. Me personally, I don't run out in the street and not care about it. I'm just saying, with me, I'm cool. But I can tell when someone's deliberately trying to put me in my place, right? And so in that moment, that's what that gave me in particular. And so that's all that was, And like I said, I don't want to go off onto a diatribe about that particular topic because we got the main topic. Yeah. But that was my biggest thing, because yes, there's a lot of people who don't know, and that's why I'm always willing to answer questions, always, when it's done in the right spirit and the right energy. But I've been doing this long enough when I can tell that it's not, and you never know. I'm gonna give you back the same energy you give me.
Right. Yeah, and that's one thing I love about you, Lily, that you're always open for the conversation and the education part of it. You love educating people on it. I just thought it was a little silly. In my opinion, it was a little silly. Now, had that been the first time ever she come across a transgender woman, then I totally understand. But she said herself that she loves the LGBTQ community. She's an advocate, and she has interviewed dozens of transgender women on her show. So to quip, so you want a gay man. To me, it was her pushing a button, because people react to that. And you know what happens in the comments, right? Well, only a gay man, they say a gay man would be attracted to a transgender woman, which is asinine because a transgender woman looks like a woman, right? But then if a man wants to date a transgender woman, he automatically gets stamped gay. And it's a hot button topic. And I was just like, I couldn't tell, because I'm like, I know sometimes she's not the quickest study, right? Like, she doesn't hear what people are saying. She can't tell how they spell their name. Like, she does a lot of that. So I couldn't tell. But either way, Kendra's a great girl. I'm very, happy for what she's building over there. Got a great show. I'm expecting to see her on TV soon. I just thought that was a little corny, a little tacky for me. Tacky. But, I can't tell people what to do to get views or spins or whatever. So, Lily, thank you so much for speaking on that, because it's important. I mean, and we should have these conversations. And anybody in my chat that has a problem with that,
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're still here. So
Okay. I mean, respectfully, if you're in my chat and you don't like the conversations, so respectfully, fuck off.
all right.
What's up, Mo Saint?
Ew. Man, that was quick.
Hello.
You have to be ready.
No saint. Oh, you're a saint.
Hey. Yeah.
Who's not?
All right, guys. So let's get into the topic because I know first of all, I'm gonna put you all in the hot seat. I want to hear your types. And you bet not you don't.
That's a
Uh-oh.
Whose dog wants to join us?
Yes.
The dog barking.
Yes. Yeah, I came on because B-Boy was going crazy over your voice.
Who?
B-Boy, you didn't hear him barking? Anyway, yeah. That's my
my
little hairless. Yeah, he's a good one.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, guys. So here we are. Is your type good for you? If you are just joining us, this is what I mean. Is your type good for you? And yes,
Wow.
I did date one of the guys on the thumbnail. I did. Good times, good times. All right. So you know, the guy was my type. But was he good for me? Is your type good for you?
Of course.
What's your type?
One of a kind type. Yeah, it's not a gender. Of course, you got to look good and be a go-getter. Real simple. Real simple,
So
but not.
physically, what's your type? Physically, what's your type?
I
Aesthetic.
just told you a good-looking girl. You know, but it's not a white female, Spanish female. You know, it could vary. It can vary. But like I said, good-looking girl, and you know, definitely a worker. And I don't just mean a job. You know, a go-getter, a true go-getter. It's very simple.
So physically, what would she look like? You see a woman across the room, you're like, that's my type over there.
What would she look like? Like
Yeah.
I said, something special. Can't be something. What turns me off is a female trying to look like everybody else. Okay, that's why I said, you know, that's what's gonna catch my eye. And then, you know, once we get to know each other, of course, you know, it has to be special. She has to be something, you know, a go-getter, all around, you know, a motherly type, you know, yeah. So, you know, and I have kids.
Now, if she's a go-getter, she's busy a lot. Are you going to be okay with a woman that's busy a lot and doesn't have
I'm
time?
busy a lot. I'm busy a lot. Yeah.
Okay. All right. No saint. What's your type?
Oh yeah.
You know that you're happily married.
No, it's not even about that. No, I
have a type, married or not. You have
right. Are we? Well, physically, I like dark-haired women. I do. I've always, since I was in high school, I like brunettes. You know, I like big butts, and I cannot lie. But I mean, as far as like personality, I mean, they have to be able to hold a conversation. You know, intelligence. I like someone that can at least match me in intelligence. A lot of women are smarter. So, but yeah, that's kind of me. You know, I hate to be like Glenn, but I don't like heavyset women.
Okay, you don't like it. So you like big butts. So are you okay with dating a woman? Let's just say, hypothetically, dating a woman with a big butt, and everywhere you go, guys are going to be talking about her butt and looking at you like, what is she doing with him? Would you be okay with that type of attention?
Yeah, I guess I am. I kind of have to be when you have a mug like this.
Okay, what?
No, but yeah, that I mean, yeah, that never bothered. And I'm trying to think if that's ever really happened that I know. I mean, I'm sure it's happened, but I do remember when we were in Spain. It was the funniest thing. And these were kids. They're probably like 16, 17 years old. But in Spanish, they yelled out, how would they say? If you cook like you shake, I'll eat anything you make, or something like that. Hey, mommy, if you cook like you shake, I'll eat anything.
Geez, that's a new one. I never heard that one before. Okay.
And you were with her?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but these were young kids.
Yeah.
Those are kids.
Yeah.
Those
And
are
they
kids.
said it in Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish, so I didn't understand. I had to
Ay,
ask
Dios
her.
míos.
I had to ask her what they said.
Okay. What's up, Big Elvis? Welcome to On the Block with Jen. How are you, sir?
I am happy. I am here. Big Elvis to Chef Rosenberg.
Good, good. Lily, what is your type?
You know, I found out recently that there's a name, there's a label for my type. More labels. So what the kids are saying is, have you heard of this term sapiosexual?
I have.
So the definition of that is like you're attracted to intelligence.
Right.
I think, yeah.
Say that again?
You're attracted to intelligence.
No, the name of it. Sapio what?
Sapiosexual.
Oh, sapio.
Mhm.
Okay.
So yeah, I was okay. I'm about to let you in on the secret, all of y'all. Like this is tea.
Exclusive? This is an exclusive?
It ain't nothing deep. It ain't deep. But but like, I secretly am a chubby chaser.
Ah.
They don't want nothing to do with me. They don't want shit to do with me. Like they can care less about me. So it's like whatever. But I always, the guy that's in the thumbnail, those are usually the ones that like usually, come after me or whatever. And I'm just like, I've never been in, I know it looks nice and all of that, but that's just never been my type.
Which guy in the thumbnail?
The black one or the white?
The black one.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
I thought that was Tyson Beckford.
yeah, like people like that's never really been my type. But I've never really like had a height preference or anything like that. It really is intelligence for me. Like that really turns me on. Like if we could have stimulating conversation,
Mhm.
you'll start morphing into something physically.
What type
like,
of intelligence are you talking about, though? Because remember, it's different ways of
yes,
intelligence. So what type?
Because you got your emotional intelligence.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. What type?
Yeah, emotional intelligence is, and I didn't realize how important that was for a long time. Yeah, because my longest relationship, we had the best conversations and stuff like that, but he just did not have emotional maturity. And oh my God, I mean, would turn into a whole 6-year-old, right?
Big baby.
Oh my God, it's crazy. And the thing is, I've always dated older guys. That is my type, older guys. That's my type, flat out. Like that's one of my things, because I've always been mature for my age, and so I would literally come home from school and be like, "Mom, I don't want to play with those kids," and she'd be like, "But you're a kid." And I'm like, "But I don't do the things that they do. I don't care about the things that they care about." Like, so I always dated a more mature guy. I like a mature look. I like mature conversations. Some gray in the beard, some gray in the hair. That does it for me. But you still have to have your youthfulness, like not just worn down and you done just been worn down and worn through. We're not talking about that. So it's stuff like that. But it's like I'm really, really simple. I'm dating now, but dating one person. And it's really simple. Like, I like you need to be responsible, thoughtful. I do like men, like we talked about this before. I do like men who have a provider type nature, just because all of the men in my family are like that. Like they feel that they, have to take care of their woman. Like that's, what I'm saying? And even though I work hard, I make good money and things like that, the type of men that I'm attracted to and that I usually attract, they are those type of men. They're like, I don't care how much you make. I just feel like I need to do this as a man, So
okay, you said you were simple. I'm gonna complicate it a little bit.
Please do.
I'm complicated a little because we said, oh, I don't want much. So let's use sapiosexual to start with. I know there's a lot of different types of intelligence, but when people hear sapiosexual, they usually think book smart, well-rounded, right? So let's deal with that. Someone who's a sapiosexual is going to have a nerdy side to them. They're always going to want to be in some sort of books or discovering things and what have you, traveling even, and want someone who's also intelligent so they can have conversations. You also said chubby chaser, okay? Right?
You can cloud them out. They don't want nothing to do with me.
Okay, so do you think that, or older, right? Would you have a problem? Because we're talking about, is your type good for you? Do you think that being in a relationship, let's say hypothetically, if you're in a relationship with a sapiosexual, he's kind of chubby, he has that older thing, are you okay with an older person may not be as active? A sapiosexual may want to be more of a homebody than running around outside, and especially if he's a little chubby. So if that's your type, do you think that it's good for you in the long run? Let's say he came in the perfect package, sapiosexual, just a little chubby, just a little love handles, and older, perfect package. But he also comes with, I really want to go outside. I want to read these books. I want to watch this documentary. I'm not as physical as you. Is that still good for you?
Yes, I've had that with that same person. That part wasn't so bad. Well, no, it down to the extreme because there's different levels to this. There's an extreme where they're complete homebodies, like they don't really like, because what happens is you become their life. You become their everything. And you know me, I am a get up and go travel. I'll get off this thing tonight and be in Egypt tomorrow morning. So, that's me. I'm just saying. But
Egypt.
yeah, I mean, I just picked,
Okay.
But
Dang.
Asshole.
yeah, like it just depends. If it can't be that extreme, but I do like the opposite of me in a lot of different ways. But then there's some things that do have to come together, and that is the intelligent part and stuff like that. Like like a Venn diagram. You got that middle part. Yeah, there's some things that's going to glue us. But I like, I prefer the opposite of me in a lot of different ways because I'm a lot. So I do need somebody that's not as active in me, that just kind of like, okay, girl, just just down, just
right.
Yeah.
Okay, Big Elvis, what's your type?
Oh man, I like models. I like model style women that are tall and sophisticated, who speak like they're college professors. And I like the sound of a woman's voice that's intelligent. I like to hear a woman use a word that I've never heard before, and I'll say, what's that word? And then they'll say, you've heard it before, stop. Like they're embarrassed for me. That's my type. I like a shy woman that's non-combative, but will hold me down in a bar fight. I like a woman she can hold something heavy for me, and and I like a woman who I could do a bump with too every once in a while. I like all those. I like that's the kind of girl I like. And respectfully.
Respectfully, always respectfully, of course. So let me ask you this. First of all, she sounds amazing. She sounds like a superhero. Let's start there, okay? Let me ask you,
that's good. Okay.
A woman of that description you just gave sounds like she would have a lot of options. We talking intelligent, has a great vocabulary, tall, model-esque, does a bump every once in a while, party girl, but can do heavy shit for you. She's gonna have a lot of options. Are you okay with being with a woman who has a lot of options? And do you think that she's good for you and you could keep up with her? Because she sounds amazing.
Well, I married one like that. The woman that I married, my wife is 6'4", and she was the 8'9" of her time. You know, I met her when she was 19. I snatched her up early. All the 8, 9s, and 10s get snatched up early, and we've been together 18 years.
Right.
We got 2 kids, and I know she'll hold me down in a bar fight. I know she got my back, and I know that she's super intelligent. She was like one of the smartest in her class, and she went to a very popular school in Harlem, and she was like one of the smartest people there, like 4.0 GPA. So it was a good look, and I wound up snatching her up early, and we've been all over the place. We haven't done Europe, but we've done, you know, some Canada. We've done the United States of America twice. We went to Nebraska and looked at the full total eclipse in 2017. She giving me beautiful kids.
Does she play ball? She's 6'4". Does she ever play sports?
Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no.
Okay, so you got her early. So she was 19, so she didn't really get to really be out there, meet other men and stuff.
Why are you shooting them down?
Right. That's the best way to do it.
And how old were you when she was 19?
I was like 32.
Jeez.
And mind you,
she was 16 years old.
I was 32, but she did good though, because I was 32 years old, making something like 90 grand in the bar business a year. Like I was had my own place, had my own car, paid for, and I lived at I lived in a brownstone in Harlem for like, you know, 15 years before her and I moved out of that brownstone and into a different place. But yeah, you know, she did good. It wasn't like she messed up. I mean, you see what you see here. This is all her doing. She gave me the extra rights. She gave me the extra rights for 7 years.
Don't blame that on her.
Yeah.
Gotta take some of that blame too.
I got the pictures to prove it.
Huh? Okay, and what that mean?
Your type is younger.
Yeah, my type is even now. It's like I can't even look at a woman over 45. I can't just admire from afar. I can't do it.
I'm different. I
look at girls that are like 20 years old, 22 years old. I'm like, ooh.
What is that?
I do things like this. I do the cross when I'm driving. Ooh.
Do the cross when you're driving.
Yeah, I was always now my wife is 7 years younger, but I always liked. I mean, my first serious relationship, she was 7.5 years older. I always liked the old. I when I look at 20 or 18, they look like babies to me. And then, you know, I know they're not going to be able to really have they're still too young to have a really good conversation. I mean, you know, so I've always like, even today, and it's kind of crazy because even today, like when I was in my 20s, I was thinking, you know, 30, 40-year-old women look good. Even now that I'm older, I'm like, women in their 50s and now 60s, you know, I'm like, there's some good looking 50-year-old and 60-year-old women out there.
Exactly. You got some girls that keep it up, you know, and my girlfriend's over 10 years older than me. You know what I mean? So it's, you know, hello. Yeah.
Just
but
stay away from the children. Stay away from the children.
Nah, yeah, that's you know, how old are you now, sir? Around?
Oh, I'm 49. I'm 49.
40? Okay.
I'm 49.
Do.
We need the Lord in here real quick to bless them. Where are you? Brother Ish, where are you? Someone nine.
I'm here.
He's here.
What is your type, sir? What is your type? Start with the aesthetics.
Start with the aesthetics.
Yeah, hey, she has to, you know, meditate 3 times a week. Start with the aesthetics. You see her across the room, you're like, bam, physically, that's me.
Natural hair, preferably.
Okay.
I don't like wigs.
Get in the bed. Get in the bed.
Okay.
What did you say?
No, that was Elvis. He was talking to somebody in the background.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I'm looking through my window and I'm telling my kids to get in the bed. They're bouncing around.
Okay, mute your mic though.
Sorry.
Okay.
Lean. I don't like a big woman at all. I don't like, the big, heavy set, traditional. I like the model type figure. I just like lean women. I find my eye always drifting towards that. I'm a sapiosexual as well. I like intelligence. And I do appreciate someone who has a social consciousness, a social responsibility to them. Spirituality is also important at this point, and I think I think that kind of rounds it out. I like, I've been across the board, but I like dark skinned women as well. So I also have a preference, but I've been across the board. So then, if an individual just strikes me, I go with that.
Okay. Now, could you natural, lean, intelligent, dark skin? Do you think you can keep up with that type of woman?
Yes, I have.
You said you have?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so there's never been any, because I mean your type is pretty normal. There's nothing out of the order. Natural, lean, dark skin. I don't see too much friction that can happen from that. But did you ever have any type of friction because she was natural, lean, or her complexion? Was there ever any friction? Because you're not with her now. So what friction do you feel like you ran into, and did it have anything to do with her aesthetics or social conscience?
I'll give you an example. Probably the last experience that I had. I did a courtship. Did a formal, in the nation we do a courtship. So in the efforts of doing things right and having done them wrong in many occasions, I was like, let me try how it's set up and how we should do it. And I did my last courtship was with a young lady who's around my age, been in the nation around the same time, and a lot of brothers found her attractive. I found her attractive, but there was with everything that was in line, there was no like drive for her. That was the weirdest thing for me.
You got a lot of background noise, Ish.
Yeah, I know. I got my. As soon as I start talking, I have a little one that just wants to all of a sudden, hey, he's doing something.
Yeah.
What did you say though? She what?
You talk.
Yeah, I'm talking to you. What did you say when I was talking about the friction? I didn't really get it because
It was difficult. The relationship was great as far as on the intellectual side, but internally there was no passion.
Okay, all right.
I have a question for Ish. So, if you're planning on taking it to the next level, and it's someone you're serious with, and they're not in the nation, is that a deal breaker? Because I understand that you kind of want to be equally yoked in that sense. A lot of people that are in a belief system. So I'm curious if that would be a deal breaker.
Repeat your question.
Yeah, I'm saying like if you meet someone or you're dating someone and you're going to take it to the next level, but they're not in the nation, do they have to join the nation in order for you to marry them, or is that a deal breaker?
Previously, it wasn't an issue for me, but now it is. I'm not going to be involved in a relationship with anyone that's not in the nation. That's
okay.
I've drawn that line. I mean, I've attempted outside and making, doing it in my own way. And, I find that doing the courtship procedure in the nation really works for me. And I found that, in some of the couples that I've, just queried on a few occasions, that has been successful because it forces you, one, there's no intimacy before the relationship.
Right.
So a lot of times it's a lot of dialogue, it's a lot of questioning, it's a lot of.
Is that the Nation of Islam?
Yes.
Didn't Rizza Islam just get caught up in something? He's not married.
Yeah,
right?
he did. Yeah, he did.
He's not married, right?
No, he's engaged to a different sister.
Yeah,
From my
he's not. He's not married. That's what was what
Right.
I'm saying.
But he was courting a sister, and
And he's a high person in NOI, correct?
he's a highly visible individual.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say like he has. He's a highly visible representative. I'll put him in that category.
Yeah, but when you say that's a bad look, for the.
Well, I mean that's his trial. That was his challenge. Like he was in a courtship with a sister, and
they slept with each other,
and they crossed the line. And when it came out, he got time out for that. He's out on time right now.
You don't think that happens a lot, though?
Oh yeah, I can believe it happens a lot.
Yeah. Jen, so the reason I wanted to go with him there is because that's how well, many churches, not just one like the Nation, like the one I was in, you were kind of you had a small pool to select from. So like, the church I was in, the cult I was in, they didn't allow you to interracially date. So if you're in Wisconsin and you're a black guy and there's like one or two black girls, you're really limited because you can't date outside the area, right? And you can't really date anybody in that congregation unless you meet somebody from another congregation, the same church in another city, like with the Feast of Tabernacles, like the whole, you do that once a year.
So a black person couldn't date a white person,
or a white person could date, right. So I mean, if you're in a place where there's a lot of, but it was always a disadvantage to the people of color.
You didn't see nothing wrong with that?
No, I didn't. That's what I thought I was going to hell, but no, I saw something wrong with that. No,
you're not like say for example, you like a black girl or a Latin girl, you couldn't date them, right?
No, I didn't like that. That's what I'm saying. Yes, I didn't see that. I don't see anything wrong with it. That's why I thought I was going to hell because I was interested.
That would have put a red flag right away. Like, whoa. My mother's white, my father's black. I'm just saying.
No, I get exactly. No, that's the reason I had the issue.
I've seen it all.
When I was a teenager, I'm sitting there thinking I'm going to hell because I like, women of color. I like Latinos. I like black women. I like white women too.
Of course.
But I'm just saying, like, I thought, like, God, man, I thought I was gonna burn because I was like, this ain't gonna work for me.
And here you are, still alive, unburned.
That's right.
Praise the Lord.
But yeah, so that's why I asked him. He's got a much better chance because they're all people of color in his organization.
Right. Super chat time. Thank you so much, Necessary Evil, for the super chat. Necessary Evil says, I just wanted to thank you again for last night. You offered grace and compassion to your subs. You're welcome, Mama. No, listen, guys. If you were alone on Christmas or just alone in general, we had a really good stream last night. It was really, really amazing. So check that out when you have the chance. Thank you for the super chat, Haronda Marco. Haronda Marco says, my types are, here we go. My types are Halle Berry, Sanaa Lathan, Salma Hayek, Lisa Ray, the young version. Let me stress for him. The young Lisa Ray in her prime. Margot Robbie, off with your head. Iman,
this Lisa Ray.
Iman in her prime. Or Angelina Jolie, all with a high IQ. Well,
and I'm gonna add one for him. Vanessa Del Rio pre-horse encounter.
You guys want superheroes? I'm gonna have to do a show.
And I'd like to say,
he took it there.
Haran, he clearly likes the crazies because the first three represent have some really crazy relationship histories. Halle Berry definitely has had the drama. Sanaa Lathan with her Denzelian experience, and then Lisa Ray with, everybody.
I was on set one time. I would never forget this. And we were eating. It was on break. And people just start talking about what shows they worked on and what sets they worked on. I promise you, Sanai's name came up, and when I said, everybody was like, "Oh!" The room erupted, and everyone had a crazy Sanai story.
No.
And the stories were crazy. Like, I was just sitting like,
And that's the challenging thing is that her father is like this really well-rooted individual in the entertainment industry, and he's got a very Obama-esque type of demeanor, and intelligent. He's a director, and health conscious, and and his daughter's just off the meat rack, like.
But maybe that's why, because she's a privileged kid in the business, and it's like her daddy's gonna fix it. So that's probably why. Nice.
I'm shocked on that
He
one.
went to Yale for acting, like.
Ew.
how nice.
Teacup. Tristan, what's your type, Tristan? And don't just say, if you got the rolls, I got the butter.
But that's my favorite line, though.
I know it is, but there has to be something beyond that. So you a chubby chaser?
No, not really chubby chaser, but that line is funny to me.
Okay, so what's your type then?
It's not as superficial as everybody else's. It's just
Tristan is letting us know we
Excuse me, I'm a sapio.
Well, to me, I believe the sapio is a valid thing, but there are different degrees of intelligence, so you have to know what kind of intelligence you like. So it's broad, but also to me it's very. You have to grab my attention, and not many people can. Like Jen, we've had conversations, and you like this. Oh, he's having an ADHD moment. You're like it's very hard to grab my attention. So it's not really about whether she's tall, short.
For.
Listen, I like I like to have a regular heartbeat, But
Okay, right.
but it's just one of those things where you have to grab my attention, and because I've liked people who are extremely dumb. I've liked people, like one girl I dated, she turned into a neurosurgeon, and the other girl, the other girl I dated is now a felon. It ranges.
Whoa.
So it's kind of like it's kind of like at this point in time, who do I like? And that's it. It's not really a specific type, It's just I'm here in this moment. You caught my eye. Let's see where this goes. And that's it. That's how I operate.
Very sweet. Very, very sweet. But you're in a room. Okay. There are 20 women in there. Which one stands out before you figure out if she's going to be a neurosurgeon or a felon?
Great question.
Which one stands out to you? Which one you're like, wow, look at that one out of the 20. That one right there.
Well, I'll sit there and say the neurosurgeon was before she lost weight. She wasn't big, but she kind of got scooped to the side to get into the desk. So like it varies. It's just like after a while, it just varies. I don't know until I have a conversation, because me, I think everybody's stupid. You know that for a fact.
Okay.
I walk into a room, I think everybody's functionally retarded. And
somebody's crackling something on their mic. I don't know who it is crackling something.
That was me. I'm doing something on our computer. My bad.
Okay.
But that's just me. It's just that it depends on how the conversation goes, because I'll talk to somebody and be like, "Oh, you're a fucking dumbass," and then everything just shoots down after that.
So Leslie Jones could come up to you. Leslie Jones.
Who?
Leslie Jones.
Who is that?
Saturday Night Live, the comedian.
I like how you tell me things like I know these people. Okay, let me see.
Don't do it.
Leslie Jones was the lady from Ghostbusters, the black lady in the new Ghostbusters.
Go ahead and Google her, Leslie Jones. Since you have to talk to them first. Leslie Jones can come up to you and be like, "Hey, Tristan, I heard about you. What's up?" Can she have great conversation? And you're like, "Yup," because I got to get to know you first.
Okay, I see her. Maybe.
Okay.
I'm not
All
gonna
right,
be. I'm
now
not gonna.
try.
I'm not gonna be like, oh no, like if listen, the conversation bangs, so can our genitals. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now, well, let's go since you're on that. Since we're doing Joneses, Grace Jones.
You said Grace Jones.
No, Grace Jones is a goddess, though. That's not a that's a win. Grace Jones and Leslie Jones are worlds apart.
Have you seen Grace
I
Jones' body
agree.
at 70?
Yes.
Six pack and all?
No,
Yeah.
I'm thinking
yeah,
of the Grace
she's
Jones
young.
back in the '80s.
What I'm saying is she's still pulling it off in her 70s, six
Yeah.
pack and all. She's still giving you the same thing.
It's true.
Yes, she is. Let's get into the sapiosexual. It's come up 3 times.
Yes, that's a beautiful word.
I
I'm
think
looking at
that's
Grace
teaching me that.
Jones. What
Yes.
what am I looking at here? I don't know what I'm looking at. It says 74. This
I
is
knew you was
Grace
gonna come
Jones.
back to that sapiosexual. I knew you wasn't gonna let our ass off the hook.
no, I like
No,
Grace.
that's a
Like,
beautiful word. No, that's a beautiful
Yeah.
word. I'm gonna definitely be shouting that out. Thanks for teaching me that.
right.
Yeah.
I'm learning from the kids.
In fact, I'm gonna get one of my artists to do it. So I just looked it up. The
You
word.
see,
No, yeah,
you learn here. You learn on the
yes,
block.
you learn on the Jen show.
Each one.
I know, but I should have known that word. Come on now, damn. No, that's what
Each
you
one
need.
teach one.
You need to hello. You need to tell people that's what you need to look for. Hello, a sapiosexual person instead of one of these ratchet little people
Okay, so
that's gonna get you nowhere.
the definition is, if we just simplify it, let's just go
I'll
by
tell
the
you. I looked
definition.
it up, but go
It
ahead.
says a person who finds intelligence sexually attractive or arousing, right? Example,
Yeah.
I met a PhD student from Germany who told me that he was a sapiosexual, finding intelligence sexually attractive or arousing. Okay, it's not just like, oh, my girl or my guy has to be smart. It's sexually arousing, meaning that someone can explain to you some sort of metaphysics or neuroscience and you're wet now. Okay?
Yes.
I don't know if
Where
he
you
meant
got
that.
it from?
I don't know.
It's not just, oh, I want them to be smart. It's not that.
But that's why
It's going there. Okay, I'd rather you be smart than dumb. Believe that. Okay, think with some logic. Okay, no, but
Jen.
one thing I wanted to say.
No, what I was going to say is, for me, that is literally like I fit that definition for real. Sexually, it has to go through. Like I just that's me.
No, that's a given. That's a given.
No,
you
it's
can't.
not. No,
What?
And
Especially a full
especially,
relationship or just a
Let Lily finish her thought so you guys aren't crossing each other.
I would say both, especially in the LGBT world, because a lot of people just try to go right to the gusto, and it's just like, hold up. Can you spell? Do you want to know 1 + 1? Like, your name, last initial, like, so there's a lot of pleasantries that get X'd out in the LGBT world. So that's when I had to learn that I'm a little bit different. This is not how I, get turned on. I need a little bit more, and so, just through time, I realized, oh, that's what it does. That's what does it for me. Now, granted, Chris Rock made that joke a long time ago, right? We know from moment one, oh, I would give him some, but you're not going to be able to get it until you got to warm it up. You've got to, and it's usually, for me, it's through here. So.
Very, very true.
Hey, Jen.
Uh-huh.
I forgot a point. I like them a little thugged out. I forgot to say that. I like the edge.
Okay.
I knew Ish had that bulletproof vest in the background for a reason. I knew it.
Okay, but going back to, is your type good for you? Like them a little thugged out. They like to fight. They like to start trouble. You may get caught up in a bar one time, fighting yourself out. Is that good for you?
No, and that's the one thing that I also discovered. I found myself in situations and having the question, do I want to fight for her? Now, you know what I mean? Like, even though I you know, like, I'm not in it this deep, and this person is problematic, and they want to start a fight, then they want me to join in and join the cause, and I'm like, I'm not with the cause. I'm still questioning if I'm really with you.
Damn.
And Jen, you know I'm as loyal as they come, but it's a certain point. It's like, I'm not sure that I want to dive into this one. I have to think.
So the pussy's not worth the bullet, is what you're saying.
Yes, that's exactly the problem. Yeah.
Okay. Haran says a sapiosexual really just means, I'm gonna try to do it in his voice since he don't want to come up.
Right.
A sapiosexual really just means you got a sexual kink for a person who can explain the theory of relativity to you.
Goddamn right.
You didn't do enough there, Jen. You didn't go.
We gonna make Haran come up here. We fucking with him. He does give us the.
I think he's
I
donkey.
think everybody
Child secretly.
at this point, we all can, I think, explain the theory of relativity. I think it's got to be a little higher. String theory.
I think so too. I think it has to be higher.
And if you do metaphysics, it's on. It is on. I am such a nerd. Like, I always say I'm a closeted nerd, but it's coming all out tonight. I'm coming out the closet tonight.
I have a question.
You know, I was a sapiosexual before I knew the word, because I heard the word. Facebook made it really, really popular.
Okay.
I was that before the word hit the streets, because I always had a thing for nerds and, you know, how smart they were. And I wanted to corrupt them. I wanted to, like, take their pocket protector out their pocket and fog up their glasses and, like, show them sex shit they've never known. Like, I had a thing for nerds. I still do.
Yeah.
I still do. Stay out my DMs, but I still do.
The thing is, you see, I am like, it took a lot for me to break out of being with the bad guys, because I've been with bad guys since the beginning of my dating history. And yeah, for the same reasons. I'm getting older, and it's just started, and I have a lot to lose now. I have a lot to lose. So it's like, and the last guy I was with was very, very notorious. To the point, and to the point where, looking back, I'm like, what in the world was I thinking? Because there's a lot I could have gotten just by proximity, you know. The excitement, but I couldn't lie. There was an excitement that came with it and all of that other stuff. But just through maturity, I realized I had way too much to lose. And I'm not 20, I'm not 30 anymore. Like, come on, like, really? And then there's a lifestyle that comes with them. It's just very weird. Without me going any further, but you know, it's a lot that goes into that. And I just don't want nothing to do with it no more.
So I didn't talk about my type.
Yes, what is your type?
I didn't say
your type, Jen.
What's my type?
He has to look like Predator.
No, I mean, that's a good thing. So this is why I just threw one of my exes on the thumbnail to make it easy, okay? So let's bring up. She
likes the Mandingo.
I do like the Mandingos very much. So this is one of my exes there with the white underwear, not the guy on the plane, but the guy in the white underwear. That's one of my types, right? That's my favorite type, actually. I like big, strong, brawny, nice package, right? Good. I like the eye candy. I don't know if there's you know how you have sapiosexual. I don't know if there's something sexual attached to. You just get really, really turned on by what, like the broad shoulders and the arms, and you're just like, yeah, or if that's just like natural. Every woman does it. I don't know. But that's my type. So to answer my own question, is it good for me? No. Here's why. It wasn't good for me because men that look like that have a lot of options. And even the ones that aren't complete dogs always have women coming at them. And when I was, way back when, very, very possessive, okay, even more than now, very possessive, very like has ultra eye on everything. Also, you have to accept that, they're like they're gonna be more social than a guy that's not that good looking. They're gonna be more social, they're gonna be more friendly. So it wasn't good for me, but it was a good time, I gotta tell you.
What was his occupation? What did he do for a living?
He worked UPS in the daytime and he was a stripper on the weekend.
Oh my God.
Now, see, now,
So Jen, you're the quintessential. You're the
So
quintessential.
either way, he was
What's
delivering
good
the
for you is
package.
not what's good for you.
what you say?
Services was right on time.
Jen, I said you're the quintessential. What's good to you ain't what's good for you.
Yes. Nice guy too, by the way. If y'all really, really nosy, I interviewed him and another partner of his that's also a stripper. It's in my gallery, but you have to scroll back a ways. But I interviewed him. For all you people that are lurking and are nosy, I interviewed him.
So he was a subordinate.
No.
You slept with your subordinate.
No.
She interviewed him as like on a talk on the show, not like as a job.
Oh, okay.
I was like, what? Do you see that man? Who's gonna be a subordinate? No.
So I have a question to pose to all of us.
Yes.
How does everyone feel about your ideal type, but then they have a heavy social media presence, right? Because that changes the game. That changes the game if they don't know how to use it responsibly. That changes the game.
Great question.
For me, it's a hard no for me. It's a hard no.
Yeah, it depends on how they're using it. If they're using it for validation, no. If they're using it for like business or whatever, I'm okay with it.
Business only.
If it's for business, I'm fine. I don't care.
Hold on.
OnlyFans is the business.
That's what I'm talking about. Get the money.
Because listen, social media has morphed into what we know today, right? First, it started out, it's friends. Then it started out, I'm only here to keep contact with my family who lives in Florida. Then it went into, I'm only here to do business. It doesn't stop the DMs. It doesn't stop the dick pics. It doesn't stop your high school sweetheart from like, damn, you look good now, boo. It does not stop people from spinning the block. It does not stop people from wanting validation, even for your business, even if it's for business. Oh shit, that she a bad bitch and she like my landscaping business. It doesn't stop that. So I'm with Lily. I'm still looking for the white knight who doesn't have any social media or wants it. I know he's out there somewhere, needle in a haystack, but I'm not comfortable. And my ex that I just put up right now, this was years ago. I was in my 20s when I dated him, but had I dated him now and he's on social media, oh fuck no, from jump. Like from jump, I would have been like, I'm not bothering. No.
I mean, I can do someone who has one, but it's like they barely pose like that. I mean, that's the guy I'm with now. He's like, he barely posed. The last picture was probably from 2 years ago. It's probably a bunch of reposts from basketball and all kinds of other stuff. So, but with a heavy social media presence, hard no.
Yeah, if you stay on it, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're an attractive person on social media, you're going to get the DMs. It's just, if you're not looking, if you're not on it, like, if it doesn't, you're not feeding off of that or feeding into that, then I can deal with it. But if it's just like, oh my God, I didn't get a DM today from somebody, I feel worthless, that kind of shit. Because the people who really start to feel like that, who really look for that validation on the daily.
Yeah, and I've seen all kinds of people fall victim to it. Like I've seen people fall victim to it that you would never think, like nerdy people, people that were happily married, people that were engaged. You just don't, people that look good, people that don't look good, people that you would think like, I know you cheating. Like the stories I've heard from my friends and my family members, I'm like, your wife did what? So it's like anybody can fall victim to social media because you never know. You may have a weak moment in your relationship, and here come that asshole from high school, the asshole from high school that looked good. He's like, oh, was it like the Eddie Murphy joke? His dick swinging on his back, like, oh, who made you sad? Right? And then you answer that DM just to get that moment of validation, and that shit just boils over. So be vigilant on social media because anybody could fall victim to it. People are not me, not I'm strong. I don't like the attention. I'm just here for business. Yeah, okay.
I mean, man, I once heard something. I think I read it actually on social media. Funny enough, they said if the person you with gets up and checks their social media before they check their business email, you might want to consider switching up.
Woo!
Damn.
Shit. Do I?
Yeah, but that's just something like witty to say. You know, like you're gonna check the business. Yeah, I think that's just something people just say that sounds fly.
Right.
Nah,
Exactly.
when I wake up in the morning,
I don't know.
when I wake up in the morning, the first emails I check have to do all my business emails. I do not check
Oh, you were
social
talking
media too.
about yourself. I thought you were talking in general.
In
He
general,
was.
I was.
But
I wasn't
yourself,
talking
this
about
is
generality.
something you practice.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
I mean,
That's cool.
what you call it, and it's something that like just always rang true with me because I heard it a while back, and I was like, "Am I doing that?" So I made it I realized I had to make sure that I was the one who was checking business email because you might miss something, liking pictures. You might miss that email. That's money. You know, like hit me back in 15 minutes. I got this opportunity. Oh man, I was checking on,
I was
Kim
watching World
Kardashian's
Star.
page.
But with
Yeah, exactly.
with entertainers is different because we're constantly marketing ourselves on social.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we have to like, let's see how this, promo did. Let's see how this, and not only that, I've gotten my last 3 major gigs from people DMing me.
Yeah. And that because I wanted to turn mine off, but I can't because I've had major things come in that way. And I hate it. I hate social media. I hate it, but it's such a big part of our job. And yes, it comes with the dick pics and the this and the that, the blah, 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 and I am truly on there for business, but god damn, like people just, it's crazy. So I know what I go through. So it's like, it's just too much. I don't want to deal with that. No.
There was this guy that I dated. He wasn't even, he's a good looking guy, but, he constantly entertaining people on Facebook, and I didn't like it. I was like, had an amazing 3-day date. It was amazing. One of the best freaking date marathons I had been on. And then literally, I liked him physically. He was smart, great job. And literally, like, I fell back because of his social media presence. He was great otherwise. I just knew myself and I was like, I'm not going to like this and it's going to cause trouble. And I'm not trying to interfere with what makes you feel good, obviously. Right. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to remove myself. Right. It's going to cause a problem. I don't want to see you joking about their panties. I don't want to see, I just don't.
Jen, you went on a 3-day marathon date with an amazing guy.
Yes.
And that sounds like self-sabotage, only because I've never heard a woman use those words in a sentence. Marathon dating and 3-day date. You are living a life unlike other people. And maybe you just always need to be this.
Be what?
Oh, he froze.
He's shining too bright like a diamond.
Be what?
Yeah. You want to be the center of attention. I mean, who gets a chance to go on a 3-day date?
Okay, so I can answer that. The reason why it was a 3-day date was because I lived in New York He's in Maryland, I believe. So he came to New York for the weekend for us to hang out. So for those 3 days, we made sure we packed it with stuff. Like we was hanging out and sightseeing. He's not from New York. So the 3-day date, it was amazing. We went to Coney Island and we did the rides, and then we did the bars in New York City. We bar hopped. Then we went to Times Square, and then we got on those, what do you call them? 2-wheel things that you got to balance on, and then it takes you around. The Segway.
Rickshaw?
Segway. The little Segways. So it was an amazing 3-day date. It was in the summer. We kept meeting up like, hey, let's it. But yeah, I do want to be the center of attention. I want to be the center of the attention of the man I'm with. I must. It's a must. It's an absolute must. So you're not wrong.
Duh. You just proved that with what you said. Who gets to have an amazing life like that and then go, nah, I'm gonna see what else is coming along?
People with options.
Well, not coming along. Not so much, let's see what else is coming along, but this is gonna be a problem. So I saw it as a red flag. I was like, he seems to be the type, though he's amazing, he seems to be the type, which happens a lot on social media. The attention you get from social media gets addictive and more important than the person sitting next to you. It happens.
Did you smash?
Halfway.
Okay.
Halfway.
Halfway. I say halfway. There was
for
no
him or for you? For him or for you?
No, we just ate. Like he ate. You know what I mean? So that's why I say half. Like to me, the whole thing is like penetration, dick and pussy. Like, so I say half. We fucked around, right? We messed around because it was like
I don't understand that.
What? You know, listen, Damien.
Yeah.
Halfway.
I wish he would come up here. I had a relationship for years with a man, and that's all we did.
Wow.
That's all we did. And no one ever fucking believed us. His friends would look at me and was like, ain't no way you ain't smashed that. My friends was like, ain't no, I'm like, yo, it was our thing. And then it became like this special thing that just was our thing. It was amazing. It was almost like some tantric Kama Sutra thing where we never went all the way. It was amazing. He's an amazing person, but I don't know. One day maybe I'll come up here to talk about it. But yeah,
if I was your gay best friend, I would tell you, girl, don't never tell that story again. You're never gonna get a man. If I was your gay best friend, that's what I would say.
I don't believe Jen's gonna ever have difficulty getting Jen's issue will always be her accepting a man. That's the issue. It's not about getting him. I mean, you know, we know that dudes are constantly on the hunt. So Jen
yeah, so we did it. We didn't smash, and you know, sometimes I look at him and I'm like, damn, I should have hit that. But you know, I just knew that it was gonna be a problem, and I saw that he just liked that attention a lot. It was a lot of women on his social media, and he wasn't an artist. If he was an artist, then I understand you have to sell the product. You are the product. But he wasn't even an artist. He had a regular job, and it was nothing but women, key. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's gonna be a problem for him.
Yeah, no.
Did you have a discussion with him? Did you talk to him?
I talked at him about it.
You talked at him? Oh, okay.
I didn't say. Here's the thing. I didn't want to ask him to stop because it was his thing.
But see, that's the beauty.
I didn't say that. Sorry.
That shows your maturity. That shows your maturity in being able to look at yourself and know what could be problematic. It's like I said, the courtship I was in, like everything was great, you know, intelligence and the whole nine. But I did not have an internal drive to see her. And so, you know, I mean, I knew that I had to end that courtship because there was that element was missing. So when you have that maturity to be able to see yourself and know, okay, I'm not going to make excuses. I'm not going to just give this a try. You automatically know what your deal breakers are or your problem areas, and you just save the person the trouble. And
the thing was that it was a big deal breaker. Like for me, for someone
that's a hard no.
Right. For someone else, no. For someone else to be like, girl, I don't care. I'll take him, and I don't care how many girls are flirting with him on social media. As long as I have a man, I'm like, no, I have options. I'm not going to be arguing with you every fucking day about why that chick is talking about your dick or your ass or what you look like, and you think it's funny, and then you're returning the jokes. And I don't want that. I don't want that. So I'm going to remove myself. We're still
But
friends.
how would you know that's happening? You're going through the phone?
No, it's on social media. It was on Facebook specifically.
And this person wasn't using this to parlay money and income.
No.
And that I don't understand.
This is just this person trying to have fun and fit. You see, this, can I just say this? This sounds like a gym rat. Is this person a gym rat like yourself?
He's not a wait a minute. He's not a gym rat, but he goes to the gym. He keeps his body up, but he's not a gym rat.
How often, if he's in, how many hours does he spend at the gym?
Like regular guys.
What do you mean? I
So
haven't been
that's
to the
zero
gym
for
in years.
me.
Well, I mean regular guys who work out, not you two.
Regular guy. I am a regular guy.
It don't count.
You
If
see,
it's under 2 hours, it don't count.
Yeah, let me just say this. You think regular men go to the gym. That's not real. Regular men don't go to the gym, or else you know how many gyms there would be a gym on every other block. This is the bubble that we are all in.
Okay, listen, regular guys
What?
go to the gym and stay fit. Just regular. He's not a gym rat. He's not in the gym all the time. Just regular. I'm about to text him and see if he'll come up, but continue.
Because there is a difference between a gym rat and somebody who works out.
Yeah.
Right. But you said a regular guy. You can't find these men that you're looking for at the places you're at. You have to go find the man. You can't find these men at gyms and at casting call. These are not the places to find a man that's not on social media. The way you find a man who's not on social media is Barnes and Nobles. How about the gas station? How about, even though gas stations are kind of funny, I wouldn't recommend that. But how about like a car wash, the detail centers of the car washes? That's like a good spot to meet the guy. And you can see right away if he's at the car wash getting his car detailed, that's 2.5 hours. How often is he picking up his phone? If he only picks it up twice, boom, you got something right there. But all I'm saying is that these guys that you're having a problem with, they too close to you and what you like and what you do. You're being around your peers. You need a person who's not a peer of yours. And you'll find out that regular men ain't working out.
Jen, would you date someone in the industry?
Yeah. I have. It is not my favorite thing. I'm still on and off about that because I like that they understand the business. I love that I can call them and be like, yo, we were on set, this producer, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, they can, you know what I mean? We can interact that way. It's a rough business. He'd have to be a dynamic person or like super religious or something. It's hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
But wait, most men don't work out. I think the men that Jen are looking for are in the wrong gym. Like she has to go to Equinox.
But see, here's the thing.
It's the gym. Listen, I've been to Equinox. Listen, Planet Fitness ain't it. It's Equinox. You go to Equinox, you meet hedge funds, you meet everything you need to know. My network, your network booms in Equinox.
I know who's in Equinox.
I thought Equinox is one step above Planet Fitness. That's a poor gym. She needs to be meeting people at American Pride gyms, those big gyms with the sauna and the. But I assume that you're meeting these men in the sauna, in the steam rooms, and all that kind of stuff. I can't imagine you being an Equinox. Ooh, no, that's like $50 a month. That's not no. You need those $400 a month gyms. That's the one.
What Equinox is $50 a month?
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't know. I don't know. I'm just thinking. I know that there's a Planet Fitness right across the street. That's like,
I'm,
or maybe it's Blink. I'm thinking
I'm
Blink.
about to curse them
Yeah,
out. I'm like, why am
maybe
I
it's
paying
Blink.
150? I was about to curse somebody out.
No,
$50.
150 is good. Yeah, maybe you're right because I'm thinking Blink. I'm not thinking.
Let me say. Let me say
I
this.
don't know about Equinox. Equinox might be a lot more higher end. Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
Equinox
just
is a higher end, and that would be a spot where Jen would go.
yeah.
Because
I can't imagine Jen going to a place that's cheap. I can't imagine that.
what?
we
It's
were saying that I was saying that Equinox is probably where, if you were going to be working out, you would want to go, but it would also have to, if you're going to meet somebody in that gym environment, because everybody there is paying top dollar for membership, and they charge you for everything, but they're catered to a high-end clientele. So
Right.
that's really, if you wanted to meet somebody that was into fitness and had a lot of dough, Equinox is where you want your membership.
so
Yeah,
here's what
I
I'll do.
think the best way is a charity. You should be working the charity circuit, girl. That'll pop for you.
I just love how everyone's assuming I need to go out and find a man. This is funny to me.
Yeah, because
I'm like, they're literally suggesting where I should go find a man.
I just hear about your
We're not
failures.
assuming.
I
she's
hear your
saying that.
failures, and I want to help. As the man that I am, I'm listening to you talk about your failures in these relationships, and I'm here to tell you the non-for-profit route is popping.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Wait, can I respond?
Oh,
Can I respond?
Damien, you see it too, right? Yep. Me and Damien about to roll up out of here.
Let me respond since I'm being addressed. Let me respond since I'm being addressed. Here's the thing. I don't believe in my relationships as failures. Okay. I know
Sorry.
it's okay. It's just that people put an emphasis. If you lay down with somebody and you don't end up with a ring after, it was a failure. That's not how I've ever lived my life. A lot of us have been, in different relationships. They were wonderful. I still talk to this man. I am texting him now and asking him, I'm going to do a social media show. Will you come up so we can discuss this? Okay. So they're not failures. Okay.
All right, you're right. I went too far.
They're not failures. And also, I don't go to the gym to look for a man. I'm not that type of person. I only work out 3 days a week for half an hour. I have my trainer. I'm in, I'm out. I don't socialize in the gym. I'm not like, hey, honey, can you spot me? I'm not that girl in the gym. I'm in there. I'm sweaty. I want my abs. I want my shoulders bigger. I'm that girl.
So you're not the girl who just got a BBL and just goes in the center camera up
no.
and then does
it works out like this.
Yeah. That girl.
No, I'm not. I'm in there to sweat. Okay.
I gotta go. Thank you
for that.
You're the best. I'm gonna hit your cash app.
Thank you, Elvis.
All righty. Take care, everyone. It was great talking with all. I'm at my dinner spot. Peace.
See Elvis.
Elvis is funny. Oh my God. Yeah, so let's do a social media show and then I'll have him come up here because I think he'd be the best to explain the situation. Because I do mention the date, that our little marathon date, a lot. So let's see if he comes up, because he's never been on a panel, he's never cammed up. So we'll see if we can get Mr. Steven up on the panel so we can talk about it.
The marathon guy.
Huh?
The marathon guy.
The marathon guy.
So I was the guy I was with for the longest relationship I was in. He was that type. He was built like the guy on the thumbnail, right?
Oh.
So I used to have men and women literally throwing themselves at him, but I was holding a secret back from everyone. I just recently shared this with my best friend. He had ED.
Whoa. Probably some steroids.
Listen, there's so many topics. Lily, I was in a relationship for 3 years with a guy with ED.
5. And I never cheated.
Me neither. But he asked me to. And I was like, no, I'm Puerto Rican. I have to be possessed by a man. The thought of me sleeping with somebody else has to crumble you. You can't see me out there.
Right. It was the same type of situation. And I look back and I'm just like, wow.
Well, wait, you say ED, so there were, the blue pill wasn't out there yet, or that was a different kind of dysfunction?
Well, the blue pill was out, but for some reason he wasn't able to take it medically. And so we would go to doctors together. Did you go to doctors with the guy?
I suggested, but he was a high ranking, NYPD. And he said he didn't want that on his record because they don't know what they go to the doctors for.
Yep.
Damn.
So he tried over the counter shit and it was not working.
No. And
and I was 32, 33. So do the math. This was way back when Viagra wasn't popping and you couldn't get it under the table or anything.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Just about get anything.
I give y'all much credit. Y'all.
I accept it. I accept that credit.
Because women won't do that. I don't know how many women will have that much fortitude to stand by a dude with that situation going on.
Thank you.
That's low key a prison term when you think about it.
Like, I was in a relationship.
Hard.
I was in a relationship like that with a woman who had difficulties in her realm, and it was like, at certain points it is very difficult to maintain because that is a bonding component that's missed, and they don't recognize it, but you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're used to kind of like just kind of having this kind of tra-la-la relationship, and then you're like, hey, I want to have like this passionate moment with you, and they're just like, I'm not there. So it is challenging on the male side as well.
I mean, I don't want to say you sure wasn't how she felt about you, just out of curiosity, if there wasn't anything medically wrong.
Wait a minute.
No, I'm just saying.
Medically, no. That's a genuine question.
Wait. I'm sorry. I missed the story. What was wrong with her vagina?
She had an abortion at 16 years old, and it messed up her whole system, and she went into menopause at that age, and she couldn't have children, and it just her whole sexual system was just thrown off.
So she couldn't take penetration, or she was just like, I don't want penetration.
She just didn't have a sex drive at that point.
Yeah,
like, it just wasn't there.
Okay.
So then it was like she would concede to sexual moments, but it just wasn't like always like a thing. Like, so it would be like every blue moon she might be ready. You know what I mean? And it was challenging.
You are a better man than most
in the criminal justice system. Sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These
I
other
was a special victim, goddammit.
No, I just want to hold up. I want to address Ish. Ish, you are a better man than most, because real talk though, to like kind of stick that situation out, because it's different. I think it may be in most cases different for a woman, because there can be an emotional tie there that can kind of see them through that. They can work with that. They can see themselves with that person on a different level. Men, we are so basic. If we can't get that pretty consistently, we're like, what are you here for the most part? Because that will supersede a lot of the emotional connections that we can make with somebody if we're not getting sex on the regular. You are a greater man than I, my brother.
Yeah, I'd actually like to hear the women on that, because we think women, that might not be important, but I mean, I know they held out for 5 years, but I mean,
I did for 3. It was very, very difficult, but I'm loyal to a fault as well. Amazing man. We talking about big bank lieutenant in the NYPD, so you know what they make, right? Amazing crib, amazing car, amazing guy, aesthetically pleasing, not into a lot of shit but football, didn't have a gang of friends, I hung in there. I was like, this is a good man, there's a good man. So good, in fact, that even after we broke up, this man was paying me like a form of alimony, just because he believed in shit that I was doing. He would just deposit fucking money in my account, and I wasn't even like seeing him at all. Amazing human being. You know, so after 3 years, it just wore on me. I used to cry. I used to be like, is it me? Am I ugly? Like, is this
Right.
He was like, you're fucking stunning. It is not you, but this is why. This is how he explained it. He said that I was the first woman that literally, this is what he said verbatim. I was the first woman that sent a yellow stripe down his back because he knew that he wanted to be in a long-term relationship with me, but that eventually I would find out that his thing wasn't working all the time. He said for the most part, he just dated, right? He can get it up on a date, but the long term, right? He was like, fuck, now I want to be with her. Now she's going to find out. So I found out. And then I was like, but fuck it, I'll rock with him. It's not that important. It's important.
Right. And you know what? My situation was very similar. Like we would go out and we would have like these great dates and we'd spend all day together. And then I'd take her go to her house, and then she'd like stop at the front door. And I was like, okay, you know, to the point where I thought she was living with somebody, or I thought she was, you know, like she was married or something. And it was like, but with the times that we spent together were just so great. Like, and we just had so much fun together. So at a certain point, it was like when it came to the moment, and we had a great intimate moment the first time, then it became infrequent, and it was kind of like, you know, weird, you know. So you go through this process of like growing into knowing a person and really loving the person. And there was a valuation in that relationship that I learned from that, you know. And then you don't want to just dismiss somebody or cheat on them because of something that they weren't responsible for and happening to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is something that's wrong with their body. And you're like, man, it's, you know, so you hang in there, but it's hard as hell. It's very, very
no pun intended.
Hard. Actually, it wasn't hard.
Right. But my experience was like a little bit of both of you. He was a unicorn in a lot of ways. First of all, we were living in Atlanta, for God's sake. Okay. So if anyone who's ever lived in Atlanta and know how like aggressive both the men and the women are when it comes to sex, and it's a very hyper sexual, like I want it, I'm going after it, I don't care whose man it is, whose woman it is, you know, it's just, that's how it is. And so he was very like faithful and all that other, so he had a lot of great qualities that is hard to see. Didn't have any social media still to this day, and you know, all these great things or whatever. But for me, you know, I thought he was living with someone too. And that's because he wouldn't invite me over, because we were having the best dates. And it was just like it was like a 30-day marathon at this point. And so then I started inviting him to my place, and then we'll be watching TV and stuff, and, you know, doing the kissing and all of that. And I was like, after a few times of doing that, I was like, now I'm either he ain't working with nothing, or he ain't, because I'm not feeling nothing going on down there, right? So I started taking it personal. I was like, well, maybe he's just not attracted to me sexually. Maybe he just likes my company, you know? And but then then after that, I would start noticing, no, he's always initiating the kissing, because his love language is time and touch. Like, touch is his love language. He was very touchy, right? So
I love those.
Yeah. So when I was like, hold on, something's going on. So then that's when I put two and two together. I said, I think he has a problem with getting it up. So one night I cooked a nice meal, and halfway in between the
like, I'm getting it up tonight, damn it.
No, I just flat out said, listen, this your dick it hard.
Oh man, what was his response? Come on, don't keep it. Come on, you gotta land this plane. What did he say when we came at directly like that?
But it was kind of like, but then he was flat out honest. He was flat out honest, and I said, okay. And like you all, I was like, I'm invested. We can do this. We can go to the doctor. We can, because I'm very solution oriented. So the moment I'm presented with a problem, I'm like, okay, boom, solution, no problem. But then his ego, because basically the last option and the only option he really had was this pump. And he said, hell no, hell will freeze over first. And
the balls, right? Like
right, yeah.
The balls and then it makes you thicker.
Yeah, like the Nike pumps. Like the Nike pumps.
Yeah.
Like that. I guess. That's in my head. That's what I was
Paul
saying. Nike
Castellano, a mafia boss had that. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. So, his ego would not allow it. And he was like, under no circumstances, hell no. And I'm sitting in the doctor's office like, do I get a say in this? Like, can I get a vote? But I'm trying to be supportive, and it was no. He was not going to go for it. And what made it even more frustrating is those times when he would try to initiate the sex, and it would get up for like a second, and it'd go to, and now I'm all into it. I'm ready to do some things, and I'm, and no.
That was exactly my situation. Thank you for the super chat, Don Levon. Don Levon says, Jen, what's your type now? My type, I don't think I have a type anymore. I just know what I don't want. I don't want him to be broke. I don't want him to be a social butterfly. I don't want him to be short. And I don't want him to not care about his appearance. So anything under that, those are like my deal breakers now. So I have deal breakers more than I have a type. I think it's safer to just have deal breakers.
Yeah.
My situation was similar, where it's like sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. A lot of times it wouldn't, and it was like hot bothered. It's up. Hurry up, jump on it, let's use it. And I was like, oh, and I was like, fuck. And it got to me after 3 years. And then he was saying he didn't want to lose me, so go out and do whatever I wanted to with someone else. Just don't bring the information back to him. And then I was like, yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll just go out and I'll find somebody and I'll just let them eat me. And then that'll be that. But it didn't work, because I started feeling like, I'm very much a one-on-one relationship type of person. And I just felt, I didn't like it. I didn't like that he was okay. Even if it's because he had a problem, I didn't like that he was okay with another man touching me.
Right.
Just fucked me too much.
Well, no, I'm with you on that. But did it bother his ego to the point where, like, for instance, I'll give you a perfect example. It started getting like this with us around year 3, right? It'd be like, I'll say something, I'm just giving a crazy example. Like, hey, I thought you was going to do the dishes. Well, if you want to fuck somebody else, you go right ahead and do it. So it really, I was like, okay, I guess this is bothering you more than it's bothering me. Because I never, because I can get down and dirty, but even in my worst, I never threw that at him, because I knew he would never come back from that, and he would never trust me again. He would just never recover from that, because he would get gutted. But I was like, there was 2 things I knew. If I said he would finish him, it would finish him. Right. And I never did, but it was clearly bothering him, because I'm like, sir, I've never mentioned it in a negative way. I've gone out of, I've gone out of my way to, like, you're the best. Woo!
That's what we morph into. Like, I never said that's why your dick don't get hard. Like, I had so much respect for him. So much respect for him. And it felt good to be with a man that you could respect, that was hecho y derecho, that took care of his home and took care of me, just a man's man. So it was hard for me to let go, because he was a man's man. And I mean, even my girlfriends was like, girl, like, I had even told them one time, like, stop sending me the fucking money, like, stop sending me the money. And my friends were like, you fucking crazy, I would have let him keep. I was like, no, it's fucking with my mind. And unfortunately,
give me the money.
Huh?
Give me the money. I'll take the money.
You know, unfortunately, back then I was very much, I still am a little bit. I was very much throw the baby out the bathwater type of personality. Very much. Like, I'm throwing it. I don't care. I don't want any of it. Fuck you and fuck your money. But you know, back then I'll flip this whole table over. Now, not so much.
You still flip the table over. What
I
are you
do.
talking about?
But she's gonna accept the money and flip the table over. That's what she said.
There you go.
I have a question for Lily, because it's been a couple of days now. I'm still trying to figure. Okay, you say you're part of the LGBT community, so I'm trying to figure out. Okay, because you're talking about. I'm like, okay, how?
I thought we established that, but I'll reestablish it.
No, I wasn't here for that.
No, I'm trans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Damn. Well, you got it going on.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so we, you know,
No saying. Are you
No saint.
flirting
I
over
swear.
there?
I swear, no
No
saint
saint.
challenges his marriage every night. I swear to God, he does. I swear to God, he does. I think when his wife flips on that channel one time, his wife is gonna be on every panel or in the chat. I swear to God.
Hey, we have to vouch for no saint and be like, hey, he's a church boy. He's good.
No. Well, we can't. Ish is gonna be like this. He gonna talk to the wife. Now listen. When your husband disappears, is there a van that has certain logos on it, like a CIA looking type of van? That's what Ish is gonna say.
Right.
Oh, this is a great question. This is a great question. Don Levon said, wait, at Jen, he didn't go down on you either. That was another thing. He wasn't a very sexual person.
He wasn't either. Oh my God.
Yeah, but okay, Lily, now that you're saying that, do you think that they weren't sexual because they weren't full functioning?
I never knew. I still to this day
Yes.
can't hard. Would
He
you think
does
so?
affect the sex drive. Absolutely.
Okay. Because
Okay.
I never
Because he wasn't sexual. I was like, hey, and he was kind of like, oh, I'm watching the game. Or,
Yeah.
You know.
He just cared about football and you know, like he was, yeah, that was
Did we take the same guy?
Child, let's talk after this.
Dude, as long as you guys do not blame football, we're okay.
He actually explained football to me because I hated it. He was like, let me explain it to you so you can be into it.
It was so funny. He called to say a belated Merry Christmas today. That's so right before we got on here. Yeah, I don't talk to him often, but we because he's a great person, and he's such a great person that I genuinely want him to have the best, you know, and everything, because it took him a long time to get over me. I had to literally sir, it's not going to happen. It's not just I want you to move on and have the best life and be with the best person, because you are a unicorn and someone deserves a good unicorn.
And then he wasn't on social media to this day. To this day.
He's
not on social media, didn't have kids. Just a great person. Great. Yeah. I hope he's doing well. Great person. And I did something really evil to him, really bad.
Someone said, did he get his hormone levels checked? I don't remember him getting the hormones level checked, but now looking back, I don't think he did, and I'm wondering why. Because we went to a lot of doctor's visits, but I don't remember them checking the hormone level.
Yeah, there's a lot of different reasons though for that. It's not necessarily your hormones either. You know, it's blood flow and stuff like that. So
yeah, because somebody, I think, because of his
high blood pressure can do it. And
yeah, he did have high blood pressure, and because of his body, the first thing that everyone always went to was steroids. When I tell you, this man was so anti-steroids, he was very natural, and he wouldn't touch. It was certain things at GNC he wouldn't touch because it was too steroid-like. Yeah. So I highly doubt that had an issue, because he's what someone would consider a gym rat. But he doesn't like gyms because he calls them bathhouses. And like I said, he's not the most sexual person. So he's like, I'm literally here to work out, and you doing all these guys doing all this stuff. It's just, I can't do it. So he pretty much made a gym in our apartment, but he works out every day. And I'm talking about hours. He at the time was 49. Well, I think he was like 50 when we broke up, but he was in his late 40s, early 50s. And from what I understand, that's been him since he was a teenager. Like
Wow.
nonstop. Yeah.
Yeah, mine wasn't a gym rat, but he wasn't fat or anything. Mine wasn't a gym rat.
Well, we just cleared it, Don LeBon. It's not the same guy.
It's not the same guy. But it was a good time as well. And he had a motorcycle, like he had a BMW motorcycle, a house, like he was amazing. His dick didn't work, man. And I did something really bad to him. And I think to this day he doesn't forgive me for. Because after we had broke up, I was still the girl that he wanted to like take on vacation. He was like, if I'm gonna spend money on somebody, I'm gonna spend money on you. So, I would still go with him on cruises and vacations. And it was really on some friendship because, I knew we weren't gonna get down. And one time he booked a cruise, like a week cruise. And I can't. I can't.
Oh, okay. That didn't go where I thought it was gonna go. I thought you smashed somebody while you was on the trip with him. That's what that's where I thought I was going. I was like, no.
But it's paid for. You can't get your money back. You can't transfer it to someone else. So yeah, I can't. And he spent a lot of money on that cruise, and I was like, I ain't fucking going. He was like, what? Everything's bad. I was like, I don't care. So I feel bad.
Well, I did something bad too.
Oh, here we go.
So this is bad. Oh God, yeah. Okay. Safe
place. It's a safe space.
It's a safe space. Okay. So because of a lot of things, like towards the end, it got really toxic towards the end. Because when he met me at the very, very beginning of me stepping onto this journey that I'm on now, as far as career-wise. So all I had when he met me was a name for YB Limited. That's it. It was LLC. That was it. Nothing had really materialized. And then in Atlanta, my popularity started growing. He's a homebody. And that did, between I think the ED and then my growing popularity, it started to really mess with him in the head, and it got really toxic. So it started little sly remarks here and there, and then it got worse, and it became more, and it became to the point where it was emotionally abusive. And so I was like, okay, I'm done. Like I tried everything, blah, 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 did all the stuff. We did the counseling, we did all of that. And so then finally I realized there's no more options. I gotta go. So I was like, this is not working. We need to break up. And when I tell you the look in his eyes, like I got scared. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I watch enough ID channel to know that my ass can't just, okay, come up with a plan. So I was like, just kidding. Right. And I started my plan on my exit route. So one day he got up to go handle some business. And when he came back, all of my stuff was gone. And he didn't know if I was alive, if I was dead, if I moved to Mars or anything. I blocked him. I blocked the whole family and everything. And it was crazy. And I didn't see him for like 2 years. And it was because a close friend of mine kept running into him, and he kept telling her, like, tell her to call me. And I was like, so you can murder me? Like, come on. But eventually I did. And we were able to, I was able to make an amends. He was able to own up. We were both able to own up, and we're friends now. So yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to stay friends with mine. I want my vision back. Thank you for the super chat. Asked, do y'all know if these men have moved on with other women, got married? I saw him years later. We grabbed a beer. He was still single, still, living in the same place. So
still trying to recover from the big loss that he paid on the cruise.
I'm sure he recovered. Money was not an issue with him, but yes, I don't know. That's a great question. I wonder, and it's not even like I could look him up and be nosy because he's not on social media, but I do know he retired from the police department. I do know that. Because I looked
Damn
it up.
it. Dang, talk about y'all be doing some bad shit to motherfuckers, huh?
Oh, that's light though. I've done a lot worse.
We didn't cheat on these guys.
Tristan.
Man, I did some like bad shit, but that was wow. I did some bad shit.
No, I've
I
done some.
found the perfect meme. I swear to God, this is going viral.
Yeah, no, he didn't. Look at this.
But see, I know what.
Terrible. So anyway, I started shooting. Hey, Tristan.
Well, he's still single because he doesn't like people. He doesn't go out like that. So it's like it doesn't do social media.
My guy was like the same type of personality. So maybe it has to do with, maybe it's connected to like they don't have big dick energy. Like I think men with big dick energy carry themselves differently. Maybe that's what it was.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't
smells, man.
Yeah.
Lily,
I just look back and I'm like, wow, I swear I told my bestie the other day, like, what, and she was like, what? Like, because, you know, my bestie was there for the whole relationship and was like, you kept that from me this whole time. Like, that's big news. And
but that proves, like I tell people all the time when they try to clap back and be like, you superficial, you want to, because motherfuckers, I've done my bid with men that were not up to fucking par. I've been the ride or die. I got out the fucking car. Bars. I got out the fucking car. I did my bid. I did sexual. I did the guy with the ED. I did my fucking bid. That's why now I'm like, I want what I want. And fuck all.
So do you think that the issue is you did relationships by trial and error versus like having some sort of understanding? Like, do you think it would have been better for you to be taught about relationships and what to look for and what would have been best? Or do you think it was better that you experienced what you experienced and then came to this place?
Well, both. Growing up a Bronx kid with my parents, like there was no teaching of this is how you vet somebody. You need discernment. You need this. You need that. It was just there was one rule in my house: don't come back pregnant. That's not really explaining relationships, right? It was so I was like, well, that's gonna be easy because I'm not out here like that. I was doing other shit. Like I was into criminal activity. I wasn't boy crazy. So I was like, oh, that's it. Don't come back pregnant. That's easy. I'm not, I was doing other shit, right? So it's both. So I had no choice but to do trial and error. But I do not regret it. And it's going to sound cliche, but it made me so well versed in just human nature and experience that I can help other people now. Now I speak to young women and I'm like, look, do not, because this is what this means. This is why he's saying that. This, you know what I mean? So I don't regret it, but no, there was no, in my house, there was no like, don't do this, look for that. You need a man that will do this. You need a man that will, it was just don't come back here pregnant. And I was like, well, that's easy.
I know for me, it was where I was at in my life at that time, my teens versus my 20s versus my 30s, now I'm 40. So my needs and wants changed from age and experience. But for a long time, there was some commonalities, toxic commonalities in a lot of my dating history. I looked up at one point and I realized, wow, like every guy has this toxic, trait or, but I feel like the relationships matched my maturity and where I was at in that stage of my life.
I was constantly trying to, because, my exes, if you put them all in the same room, they're like, you would be like, how the fuck? They're so different. But I had this savior thing going on. I was constantly trying to nurture and save men. And it's like, oh, your mother didn't love you. I got all this love. Oh, you didn't have money. Well, I got all this money to share. And oh, you didn't, there was always something. There was always, but it was never, it was never, except for the ED guy, I never met a man that I didn't have to fucking fix.
Oh
or,
yeah,
or talk life into.
that was
I was the talk life into you. I
yes.
mean, cum laude.
Oh,
I can talk life into you, baby. I can make a man out of you with a couple of paragraphs. I was always in that mode. And ED guy was the only one that I was like, oh my God, there's nothing to fix. But then,
yeah. See that right there is because that was me. That was one of the toxic traits. And so there was after the last one, and I realized that was the trait, and I was like, oh, what role do I play in this? I got a God complex. Okay, here we go. So, but the thing is, I swore off this one word. I can't stand this word anymore. It's potential. I used to date potential. I used to date potential. I was the potential queen. Oh, I was the potential queen, but today it's like, okay, I look and I'm like, if he changes absolutely nothing, is that okay? If by chance he changes absolutely nothing, is that okay? Because, and that's one of the other reasons why I like to date guys of a particular age. Because if you ain't got your shit together by 50, baby, I just, bye. Like, I'm not going to say, I'm not doing the ride or die. I'm not doing the cheerleader. You can do it if you're not already doing it. I need you to be already doing it.
Yeah.
Is that a savior complex?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a savior complex? Is it a savior complex?
Yeah. What we were doing before, the potential. Yeah. Miss Potential.
Right. I definitely went through that. Now I'm just like, I ain't fixing a motherfucking thing. So, and men get offended when they hear women say that. They get offended. Like, how dare you not want to ride or die? How dare you not, accept this potential? I don't give a fuck now. You can
men who are established don't trip off that. Don't be sitting there thinking like, how dare you don't do that? Only dudes who ain't really doing shit really have no idea how to do shit.
Right.
Be like, how dare you not wait for me to figure it out?
But
it's like, dude, you're 50.
but I don't
like,
understand that. I don't understand that. Like, if I'm working to a certain point in life, why would I risk that by messing it up with somebody who doesn't have it together? Because you're exhausting resources for the person who doesn't have it.
But it
I think
depends
that's
on
unfair.
where you are in your life. Can be the definition of together could mean totally different from where you are. Because together, me at 23 was different than me together me at 45. It's like, together was, oh, you got some banging shoes, your pants fit right, you in the gym, you got your nails done. That was together back then when I was young. Now together means something way different than it did back then. So I think what you need, what you feel like you're missing, together can be subjective.
And then it comes from also.
I think that goes by age, no?
Yeah, seriously, where you are in life.
It also comes from too, like what you saw growing up in your environment and your culture. Like in my culture, the South Bronx, listen, couples, crackheads, you stay married to that crackhead. And I literally have seen crackheads together, homeless. That's love. That is what it is. You put up with whatever. And you grow up thinking that love is suffering. Love is long suffering.
Right.
Love is enduring. Love is, you have to, what the fuck you mean? You can't just leave this man. And it's the most fucked up thing you could teach a little girl, because then she starts thinking, well, I'm supposed to be with potential. That's what they told me to do. I'm a woman and I breastfeed children and I nurture men. That is my job. What do you need, honey? You need $50? I got it. You grow up.
So do you think they need to raise the age limit for marriage?
Okay. I just talked to
a tax bracket for marriage.
yeah, okay. I was just about. I honestly feel like there's a such thing as being too broke to date. If you don't got your shit together, why are you dating? You are.
I love that thing you said on your reel, Lily.
You're being too broke. Oh yeah. I mean, one person tried to do a pushback or whatever, but he's a young man who doesn't have his shit together. So he's, I get it. So I was like, child, go right on ahead. But I just firmly believe that, like, and I had to take that advice myself. And I'm not just talking about financially. I'm talking about emotionally and mentally. Like there's a such thing as just being too broke to date. And what you're gonna do is like without even realizing it, you're looking for a savior.
I mean, or it could be that like a lot of people, because I know when I got done with my 30s and like some of the women around, they were dating some young broke dudes because they felt like, okay, the dudes that they couldn't get back with high school, they have the money now. So like the personal trainers who have the bodies that would have never looked twice at them when they were in their 20s, they can have that because they're willing to be that sugar mama, or they have the resources to like sustain the dude. I think what it is the expectation of the person you're dating, because some women don't expect a dude to have shit just to look good and be the dream man that they always wanted and what have you. Hence why you'll see a lot of these women having multiple babies by the same dude, the same fly dude with like 12 baby mamas, because he is the epitome of stuff what they always wanted. He wanted their man to look like, what their kids to look like, all that kind of stuff like that. I say broke men can get away with dating because there's a lot of women who will accept them as a broke man because they have other things that they find or the other resources that they find valuable.
And she can have a control issue too, because I've seen that too. She's like, because I look at Nicki Minaj like that.
Yep.
She always dates, somebody that she could control. There's women like that. So I mean, if that's her thing, that's your thing. I
mean, she married a rapist. Somebody who assaulted somebody when she was 16. I mean, come on.
I was way lower than her. Way, way, way lower than her.
Always. She knew she would always be running that.
Always. All right, guys, this has been amazing. And listen, we could do this fucking 5, 6, 7 hours because the conversation is so good. Tomorrow, I was just talking to Steven. He's laughing. I'm like, do you want to come up tomorrow? So do you want to do tomorrow, viewer's choice? Do you want to do something on social media and relationships? I do want to do the sexy Saturday. I want to talk about dominatrixes and all that shit and ED and sex and fucking and sucking on Saturday, sexy Saturday. But tomorrow, do you want to do something like social media and relationships? Like, this conversation is so good. I could be talking forever. What do you want to do tomorrow?
That's a good topic.
What?
Social media and relationships.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, there's a lot.
It can go a lot of different places, which I think is always good with a topic when that can branch out to a bunch of different places.
All right, so let's do social media and relationships, the real, true, and raw of it, and we could all bring our own stories and what we've witnessed and what we've done as well.
Was there what was another? You were going to go over other issues as well, or other subjects. I was just curious what they were going to be
for tomorrow.
Yeah. You said you have a few ideas.
I do, but they're not in front of me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I keep them in my notes. So if I have something in my notes that's better than that, I'll do that. But I like the social media thing, especially if Steven comes up, because he's like, what are you cooking? Now I want him to come out because it's a great example of how everything could be amazing and social media can affect it.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything was amazing. I had no complaints about that man. There was not one fucking complaint. The chemistry was through the roof. I still have pictures of it. We were having the time of our lives. The conversation was great, but that I just couldn't get past that. Couldn't do it.
A lot of women came.
I'm with you, Jen. It's a hard no.
Yeah,
I remember.
Problem. It's gonna be a problem.
I mean, my wife ain't even like the super like jealous type or like possessive type, but I remember when like one ex of mine hit me up on FaceTime and she was like, okay, but then when it got to like 2 or 3, she was like, hold up now. what are these bitches doing? Right. It's like, what are they seeing on your page that make them want to holler at you? I was right. Like, I don't know.
Yes, that's where it goes, and that's the point that we're learning this social media shit in real time. It's not like we've been here before. We're all taking this journey in real time. And I used to loathe like getting questioned in relation, like, why is he talking to you like that? I'm like, who? There are 300 motherfuckers talking in this comment section. Who? well, yeah, the one that he sent you a heart. And I was like, I don't know, but listen, I got to do this shit for work. But then there were other times where it was like an ex hit me up or something. And I was like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's complicated. It's layered.
Yeah. Like when they say, like, I mean, the last time I was traveling for business somewhere, and I was in a state that an ex lived. Just like, oh my God, you're in whatever state it was. It was like Chicago or something like that. And you were just like, I live in Chicago. We should have hit me up. We could have had a drink. And my wife was like, yeah, you don't want to be doing. She was like, yeah, you don't do that. I was like, I got more respect for you not to go and have a drink with somebody.
And then the girlfriend's got to do like petty shit, like her comment.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Inviting my dude, but I see you, bitch. Like, we'll talk about it. It is fucking.
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing more dangerous than social media.
Oh shit. Steven said he'll come up tomorrow and we'll discuss.
I will be here.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, y'all.
He'll be here tomorrow. What's up, Pop? Pop says, Jen, you'll get the guy for your social media show. If you convince me, you can get anyone on your panel who tells you no. That's exactly what he said. He said, sure, why the hell not? And he's never been on a panel or online. So let's be gentle with him tomorrow.
Don't ask him what that mouth do.
Right.
Let's be gentle with him tomorrow. No, but he's a great guy, and I'm not gonna prep him. I'm not gonna discuss anything with him. I want it to be just raw. Okay, pause. I want it to be raw. And I'm gonna ask him, what did he think about my reaction to his social media? And we'll get into that, and everybody else can tell their story. So tomorrow, social fucking media, and you men key with your little Facebook friends.
You know what's funny? This is 100% I believe is going to happen. This guy's gonna come up, and the men that be in the chat gonna see this man and realize they could never match, and I'm gonna enjoy every second of their crushed feelings. I am going to enjoy it. They be like this. Oh, that motherfucker. You know what? He can't be around my girl. That's what they're gonna say. That's what they're gonna say.
Listen, this is enough right here. That is my ex, mi gente. That's my ex. So just with that guy right there, they should be thinking that. But men don't think that way. They'll come with the whistle and missing tooth and the big fat belly and the receding hairline. They still think that's men.
I am telling you, because they're gonna run into somebody where they realize the internet does not matter to them. And they like this motherfucker, like they gonna hate him for a random reason, and I'm gonna love it. Like, oh, her standards are her standards, and she meets them, and you can't suck up.
They are gonna beat him up.
Wait. I'll block motherfuckers tomorrow. Don't play with me. Don't.
I think that's happening tomorrow.
People who are not in this world, like
I'm gonna take a picture of that, Lily, and I'm gonna send it to her. That comment. The marathon guy. I'm gonna send it to her.
I can't wait to get my troll on, because I'm gonna ask so many questions. Jen's gonna put me down a few times. I'll put money on it.
I'll drop you down, Tristan.
I know you are. It's gonna happen at least.
I'm just curious. I'm just like, cause I don't. It's like I don't need to be there. I mean, I don't want to be there. I need to be there. I gotta figure out what happened.
If you got a chance to troll Jen, tomorrow is your best time, because he can answer what she wants.
I just need to know how that is possible. I'm just curious, and I love talking to like I understand that people's mindset when it comes to like sex and stuff like that. So I'm so want to be here.
Okay.
No, he's not the sex guy. He's the marathon guy with the social media presence, but he's not.
He's the right, but we go all the way.
He's the halfway guy.
Oh, that's halfway. Yeah.
Half marathon guy.
Yeah.
Right, and it's funny because he came out here recently, and we hung out and they went to the movies and stuff. We kept it light though, but he's still, yeah. I was like, you can still get it, but but you'll meet him tomorrow.
Yeah, shoot.
Save that question, Dame. Save that question.
Questions, but tomorrow.
Her face is gonna be bright red tomorrow, and I'm gonna enjoy this troll.
It already is. I'm gonna come here with a trench coat tomorrow. So
right. Poor guy, because people who
Hey,
are
but
not
make
in
sure
this
tell him
space,
to stick around for a little bit, because if I have to jump on like 30 minutes later, so I want him to be on the first 30 minutes and he's gone, tell him to stick around for a minute.
True, because he's probably not going to stick around. So we'll just kick it in the beginning and then he'll
All right,
come later when he
go.
can. All right, guys. So good night. Tomorrow's going to be good. All right. Thank you so much for your input. Thank you for holding me down in the chat. Thank you so much for the super chats. Don't forget, I will be doing my birthday on Thursday. It's going to be a talent show. Okay. It's going to be celebrating my birthday / talent show. So if you rap, sing, act, and you want to do a monologue, whatever your art is, if you have a quirky talent, Thursday, my birthday here, December 29th, going to be celebrating my birthday and celebrating your talents, whatever those are.
Yeah, I
So
can't do my
I can
talent in
boo them
public.
off the stage because I have a boom sound I want to play. So I can't boo because I'll do it.
I don't want people to feel bad. We're celebrating their talents, Tristan, but keep it handy. Because I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Don Lemon, thank you for the last super chat of the night. Don Lemon says, I'm going to super chat the fuck out of my questions.
We are trolling. No, we're gonna be nice to him, but we're trolling the fuck out of you.
That's fine.
That's what's gonna happen.
That's fine. All right, guys. So mañana. Thank you so much. Tristan, dismiss the class. Let's get out of here. Be here tomorrow.
I'll do a outro song for you. You have to edit it at the end though.
Uh-oh.
It's something you'll hate and don't like, but something you can just say goodbye to and end it when you feel like it.
Okay.
Because she is from the Bronx. This is the only thing I found on the internet. Uh-oh. What happened? Oh. Did it break?
We're waiting.
I think it broke. I'm sorry. I think I broke my system.
Tristan,
Hold up.
we're waiting.
I didn't mean to break it. Like it's playing, but it's not playing. I broke it.
Okay, so then dismiss the class.
All right. Class is dismissed.
All right, brother.
All right, bye-bye.
Peace.
He had ED of the computer.
But boom. Ish is here all week, folks. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. You heard it. Come tomorrow for the exclusive. Okay. Everybody's going to be nice. Okay. All right. Check out my promo. Make sure you like and subscribe. Okay. To support, leave me a comment in the comment section. It helps me in the algorithm. If you want to support the show, Cash App on the Block with Jen. Tomorrow's going to be good. Okay. We're going to learn some stuff. My panel, each one teach one. Thank you for holding me down in the chat. Tomorrow will be all about social media. Do not forget, celebrating my birthday this Thursday, December 29th, right here in your faces. Dress to impress from the waist up because we can't see you from the waist down. And it'll also be a talent show. If you know somebody with a talent that wants to come up and sing for us or rap for us, I don't care if it's poetry, I don't care if it's a quirky talent, let them know to come through on the Block with Jen Thursday on the 29th, and they will have an audience. All right, guys. Good night. Thank you so much. Buenas noches. Woo! I am setting myself up for tomorrow, ain't I? I just set myself up.